Yeah. Yeah, we live. Hit the like button as you come in. I don't know why. As I sit back last night, I ain't even rewatch it because, after three fights, I ain't really had to rewatch this one. But people still saying that they don't know if Serrano won the fight or not. What you mean you don't know if she won? That's what I don't understand. She asked for the fight to go a certain way, and the fight went exactly the way she said it should go, and she lost that way. So I don't know what's that about. Yeah, I'm not even surprised by what I seen. She wanted to fight that way, and she lost that way. It wasn't a good performance either by both, but I mean, from what I seen, Katie Taylor proved her point. She said, "I'm going there and box, no head button." And then last night, I said to myself, it looked like the one head clash they had was Serrano's fault. Man, I go back and look, it was her fault. So now, when you really go back and look, you can't even use that in the fight last night. I'm talking about she clashed with Katie Taylor head last night, and she was punching that stuff that wasn't even there. Katie Taylor just landed, boom, 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 in the same spot, and she got hit in the head. So I'm like, okay, that's not a good sign. So yeah, I don't know why they're not being real with her performance last night. She was terrible last night. That's crazy. Everybody else performances get judged hard, but when it comes to Serrano, everybody like, well, I don't know who won. Man, get out of here. Quit talking about women's boxing, please. Please quit doing it. If you don't know who won last night, then it's over for you. And they getting pats on the back for it. Like they had the worst performance out of all the fights last night. People will say, well, the first two fights, man, who cares? I done seen guys go out there and have knockout after knockout and have one bad performance, and people is like, man, that was trash. He need to hang it up. Serrano had a hang it up performance last night. They talking about how many fights Taylor got left. Serrano look like, bruh. From what I seen last night, she ain't trying to fight nobody, bro. I'm gonna be real with you. I know ain't nobody gonna want to hear it, but ain't no way she finna go out there and fight no Bumgardner, no Dubois. Like I said, she gonna end up hanging it up. After what I seen last night, no, nah, we can't do it. I'm talking about she wasn't even at a certain point. I'm like, yeah, Taylor not even clashing no heads for real. She just on the back foot, proving the point that I can beat her anyway. She really proved a lot last night. That win last night was a lot more than what people gonna give credit for. But like I said, I don't know what it is about Amanda Serrano, but these dudes, please don't ever come to me with that. If Clarissa Shields would have fought like that last night, dudes would have been like, "Oh man, she running around calling herself the GOAT." Man, please. That was a horrible performance last night. It looked good when the other person just throwing a lot of punches. When the other person just ain't throwing a lot of punches, that's when you show what you really look like. And people be like, "Man, you going too hard, bro." She exactly what I said she was, bro. I need to see more with other opponents. I've seen people perform better, like Chantel Cameron. Chantel Cameron, bro, she will beat Serrano. Chantel Cameron, who fought last night. I'm telling you, it's smoke out there. To be honest with you, Katie Taylor actually coming forward. That's why I don't like the whole just throwing a whole bunch of punches because you make the other person look good sometimes. You said problem with Clarissa, no good competition around. She got competition, but she beating all of it. He said Serrano was in the ring punching her imaginary friend. Yeah, it was. I'm telling you, if you look at that head class situation, it was horrible. You said Katie Taylor versus Baumgartner. They talking about Cameron versus Taylor again, so I don't think she'll ever fight Baumgartner. I mean, not to say that she's running from her, but what, she 39 right now? I don't know. It don't seem like it seems like the logical answer will be Baumgartner versus Serrano, to be honest with you. That's what I would do. Because on paper, Cameron gave the toughest fight out of all the fights that I thought. I thought that should have been a rematch. That's what I'm saying though. You said they fought already. You talking about who close in weight? I don't know who you talking about. But yeah, as far as last night though, I don't know who you talking about as far as who's close in weight. All these girls close in weight. They all jumping weight classes. The only one that's not close in weight is Clarissa Shields. But the rest of these girls, yeah, they're close in weight. That's why they're just using Shields' name as a shield, basically, because they all close in weight. Oh yeah, me too. Yeah, we talked about that card already to the max. But that fight last night with Serrano, I'm sitting around looking around and trying to see everybody's responses to it. It's just like, bro, that was a bad performance. That was a bad performance. That's why sometimes when people are just like, "Oh, why isn't this fighter coming forward?" Like sometimes when guys like what Haney did for Garcia, that makes fighters like Garcia look good. When Katie Taylor comes forward against Serrano, that makes Serrano look good. When it doesn't happen, yeah. You said Katie Taylor versus Baumgartner, are they close in weight? Yeah, they're close in weight. Yeah, they're all close in weight, man. All of them except Shields. I mean, Shields was earlier on, she was close in weight, but nobody wanted to move up. So yeah, they all close in weight. That's why you're doing these trilogies and everything. Yeah, they all close in weight. The plan is working right now. Do trilogies, fight 3 times, buy time, have these other people fight. But I'm just letting everybody know that probably the next 5 to 10 years, these girls who are fighting, their resumes are probably gonna be better than the Taylors and Serranos because they're gonna be fighting a lot more. It's gonna be a nice trilogy, but it's gonna end up like Triple G versus Canelo. You said Clarissa beating 40-year-old soccer moms. The girl that Clarissa beat in February actually beat Green, who mopped Savannah Marshall last night. Savannah Marshall is like the best white fighter on earth, and she beat her and the person that beat Green. So that is insane that you would actually say that. This man said Carissa's beating 40-year-old soccer moms. That's when the trolling doesn't work. That means you don't know boxing, especially female boxing. That's what this live is about. So thank you for contributing to the topic, because I think a lot of males in boxing that was watching the fight last night don't know what they talking about, and this guy's one of them. He doesn't even know who's on Clarissa Shields' resume. You said, didn't Marshall just lose? Marshall lost to a champion last night. Yes, she did lose. She lost to a champion last night. She fought a champion after being out for 2 years. I don't know what other channels you watch, but if you watched them yesterday, hopefully they told you that Marshall hasn't fought in 2 years. I don't know why I'm explaining that. You're supposed to be a boxing expert. You don't think that Marshall fighting the champion after 2 years is good? It's part of the problem with boxing right there. This guy said a woman fighting a champion after 2 years, that's supposed to be a bad thing? So Savannah Marshall is a 40-year-old soccer mom. Get this guy out of boxing, bro. Please stop the trolling. This man said Clarissa beating 40-year-old soccer moms. And who is Serrano beating? That's the only question I got. Who is Serrano beating? And since I know the trolling is going on, let's go ahead and do this. Because who is Serrano beating? Dudes is like, Serrano. Yeah, we'll see about that. Man, please. I know who you are. You a bot, bro. Trust me, I know what time it is. You part of the program. But look, these dudes sitting up here talking about Clarissa Shields beating 40-year-old soccer moms. None of these dudes know who Serrano is fighting. They're just throwing out accolades. They like, oh, Serrano, she did this and this. Who she fought though? She struggled with who? Katie Taylor? Katie Taylor said, I'm not gonna headbutt, I'm not gonna do none of that. And now we see who causing the headbutts. If this was Clarissa Shields, dudes would be all over it already. She's been causing the headbutts the whole time. I'm a man. I can change. I can be real when I want to change my answers. Amanda Serrano been causing the headbutts the whole time. You said we can agree to disagree on stuff. You know what? You was one of those guys talking about Ryan Garcia last year. So you can disagree with me about Ryan Garcia, but turns out he's a bum. So you can disagree, but your boy turned out to be a bum. So all that wrestling you were doing about Ryan Garcia, turns out he's a bum. So you can disagree about stuff. I don't care about nobody disagreeing. But your judgment on boxing, I don't really trust like that. Matter of fact, how you feel about Ryan Garcia? What you think about Ryan Garcia? What you think about Ryan Garcia? What you think about Tyson Fury? What you think about Manny Serrano? Because if Clarissa Shields' name is coming up right now, what do you think about Ryan Garcia, Tyson Fury, any of those guys? Ryan is a solid fighter. That ain't what I asked you. What do you think about Ryan Garcia? Is he a cheater? You think he's solid after losing to Rolly Romero? You think he's solid? Yeah. This might be, yeah, solid fighter, just not the elite level. What about Tyson Fury? What you think about him? Overhyped? What that mean? Is he good or not though? Is he an all-time great? Is he one of the best? Is he on Usyk's level? Is he better than Daniel Dubois? Yeah, why you thinking about all that? Let me know. Exactly. And I told you that last year. And I told you that last year. And you sat up here and argued with me. Exactly. You are part of the problem. You lucky I don't block you, to be honest with you. Exactly. And you're part of the problem. And you sat up here and thought I was gonna forget. You are definitely part of the problem. Definitely. I got lives right now where you was in here defending that crap. Oh, Haney, what has he done? Yeah. Thought I forgot. We on the topic of Amanda Serrano right now and Katie Taylor, and you bringing up Clarissa Shields. Yeah, I don't trust you. All right, no, you two be on my back anyway, so I ain't even worried about it. But it's something about, I ain't gonna say it out loud right now, but yeah, Serrano, she get a lot of passes, man. I ain't gonna say too much right now, but I know what's up. Johnny Durag. I actually know who you are, but I ain't gonna say too much right now. But yeah, shout out to Johnny Durag, man. I know him personally. More than he knows. Yeah. Amanda Serrano though, she had a horrible performance last night, and she's getting a pass, buddy. She getting a pass like nobody I've seen in boxing before. I've seen Wilder get two knockdowns and not get a pass like that. She got a pass like no other last night. I haven't seen many passes like that in boxing. I'm just gonna be honest. She went out there and everybody's like, I don't know who won last night. How you don't know who won? What did she do to score? She had an opportunity where Katie Taylor was not going to put her in position where she going to clash heads with her. And then the one time it does happen, it's her fault. So she said, I'm going to box exactly, Katie Taylor said, I'm going to box exactly the same way Amanda Serrano has been complaining about. The style she wants to fight. I'm going to box her style, and I'm going to win. That's the thing that gets me about all of it. You know what I'm saying? Then she's all dramatic at the end. I respect her as a fighter, but man, don't, bro. I'm gonna be real with you. Don't nobody else do this. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna take this to a whole nother spot real quick, bro. We had women that was fighting the dude last year in the Olympics, and they wasn't even crying like that. She had the energy into the fight. You know why most men are not crying like that at the end of the fight? Because they're knocked out trying to win the fight. That's why. You ain't gonna see Deontay Wilder at the end of the fight crying like that because he's most likely gonna have somebody else knocked out or he's gonna be knocked out. That's what he pays. That's what they pay the big bucks to do. Like, man, for real. Sometimes the spotlight, man, it ain't for everybody, bro. I'm just being real. We already see what's going on with Tank. Sometimes the spotlight ain't for everybody. Sometimes the spotlight is not for everybody. I'm talking about she's had every opportunity to be successful. Please fight this style. The head clashing is too much. She went out there and didn't clash heads at all last night. She didn't let her hands go. All kind of stuff was going on, except throwing punches. Katie Taylor wasn't running around there trying to hold on to her. So yeah, she dropped the ball last night. I don't know why everybody just. That's why I'm saying, man, don't try to put these girls on Clarissa Shields level if y'all don't want to judge them like they're Clarissa Shields. That's why I don't like people talking about certain fighters. Don't put certain fighters on Clarissa Shields level or Floyd Mayweather's level if you're not gonna judge them like you would judge a Floyd or a Clarissa Shields. It ain't that. Nobody got time for that in boxing. Everybody want to say Serrano's on Clarissa Shields level. Well, judge her like she is then. Compared to Clarissa Shields, what kind of performance did she have last night? Compared to a Clarissa Shields. That's how I'm looking at it. Because I'm like, all this year, people been like, yeah, every time, oh, well, the GOAT really is Serrano, like, prove it in the ring, though. That's the only thing I'm saying. Prove it in the ring. All this talking, prove it in the ring. All these fans talking and everything, prove it. Tell these fighters to prove it in the ring. Now they want to be all, oh, well, this is a woman. Man, y'all don't care about that when the Olympics was going on last year. Forget about all that. That card is out the window. I don't care about none of that. The women in the Olympics last year had a real reason to cry. Like what she had last night, nah, she didn't even let her hands go. They barely had marks on their face for real. Yeah, that was in Madison Square Garden. It wasn't no different from what I seen from the Ramirez and Haney fight. To be honest with you, same kind of fight, different kind of criticism. Yeah, same kind of fight. But what I seen last night spoke volumes. I was looking at I had came on late as far as live, but I was watching Jake Paul's comment section. Now this is Jake Paul's comment section while the fight is going on the Envy most valuable promotions. And the comment section has, basically casuals who don't watch boxing all the time every day. They probably just tune in just to watch here and there. Bro, they comment section look more intelligent than a comment section that watches boxing every day. I tell no lie. I look at, when they showing fights prelims online. I look at the comment section on there. I'm like, bro, no way J Paul comment section is speaking facts. Like the way they are. Not the whole comment section, but I'm talking about it's just more frequent than, and it had like 40,000 people in there. So it's more frequent than you will see other chats, like when PVC showing fights. I'm like, wow. These people actually know what they're talking about. Unbiased all the way. And they came back to my point I said earlier. Some people just don't deal with it because they don't want to deal with it. You say you got Berlanga losing. Man, you tripping. Berlanga, ain't no way. But I ain't gonna lie though, I did see I seen Zepeda's face when Shakur Stevenson was shooting the middle finger at I guess it was his team or whatever. But I'm gonna show the picture later when I find it. But Zepeda he was heated. I guess his mom was sitting right there. And Shakur said, I guess somebody cussed at him in Spanish or whatever. Man, Zepeda, his face was so red. He was heated. I don't know if everybody's seen the picture. I'm gonna try to find it real quick. Bro, he looked like he was he looked like he was about to take off on Shakur. Hopefully, let me see if that's a good picture. Let me see. He looked like he was finna punch Shakur dead in the face. Yeah. Look at hey, look at PD, look at Zepeda face, man. Zepeda was mad. Zepeda said his mom was sitting right there. Cause Shakur was shooting the middle finger over Zepeda's shoulder. And like PD said, somebody said Cameron, he just started Zepeda looked like he about to cry. He said my mom was sitting over there. He said he crossed the line doing that. Cause at first Zepeda he was just smiling, he wasn't tripping. Yeah, Zepeda mad about that. Oh, actually, it's a good reason. Oh, it's some good that's some good information though. You said you don't care about what they talking about. I want to see them scrap. They don't talk though. Most of the time, they don't really talk if you really know them. They just tell them to fight. But before Shakur got in the ring with Devin and sparred him, they ain't do a whole bunch of talking. When he got in the ring, Spartan, he didn't do a whole bunch of talking. And I found out he didn't got in the ring with Zepeda before. I don't know if a lot of people know about that, but he didn't spar Zepeda before. You said you don't care about none of that drum. You want to see the fight? Okay, let me ask you a question then. How do you feel about Serrano's performance last night? They say Serrano is on the Mount Rushmore, and she is compared to Clarissa Shields. We was talking about that earlier. Is Serrano an all-time great in women's boxing after the performance last night? Because I seen a video last night where they had a clash of heads last night. I don't want to pull it up because I'm going to get flagged. But they had a clash of heads last night. The only one in the whole fight last night. And she called the clash of heads in the fight last night. I don't know why she getting passed, bro, on this fight that happened last night. But she had the worst performance out of everybody last night. Even the girls who lost on the other cards. They let their hands go. This is the third fight you fighting on Netflix against Katie Taylor. You said she headbutts. And you drop an L last night. Why is everybody giving her a pass about this last night? Why is the boxing world giving her a pass? If this was a man, everybody would be sitting up here telling her, yeah, man, he trash, man. Why is she getting a pass, man? You see why sometimes I be like, bro, I don't even want to report on her. Because it ain't real, honest coverage on her like that. And if it is some honest coverage, it's going to look like a lie because I'm the only person talking about it. But I feel like this trilogy was used to duck a lot of smoke. I'm telling you, after she hangs it up, no matter what I say, people can not like what I say. It don't matter. But I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. After Serrano and Taylor hangs it up, it's going to take about 5 years, but most of these girls are going to have better resumes than them. Like Shadeja Green, she's already fought people who's been undisputed or whatever. And she just fought Savannah Marshall. And she's a basketball player. She don't got 50 fights on her resume. If you look at Shadeja Green, she don't have 50 fights. But she's fighting champion after champion after champion after champion. Already. Let's go. We know who had a better fight last night. And she got a point taken away. And she had a better performance than Amanda Serrano. And she got a point taken away last night. This girl saved the fight card last night. Had a fight that should have been a co-main event. It felt like a co-main event, but it wasn't. It was basically an undercard fight. So when I'm saying these things about, hey, what about Serrano? Because in 5 years, people going to be like, oh, yeah, I remember her. Because if we seen last night, everybody that was on that undercard, letting their hands go. They get into it. They ain't comparing themselves. What's up, J-Man? Shout out to my dog, J-Man. They ain't comparing themselves to nobody. Clarissa Shields fight next week. I mean, not next week, 2 weeks. She fighting 2 weeks, my bad. For Serrano, out of all the girls that fought last night, for Serrano to be trying to place herself next to Clarissa Shields, and for everybody not to criticize her after that performance last night, she looked horrible. She looked terrible. She looked like Ryan when he fought Rolly. I don't know why she getting a pass. That's why I'm saying, man. Hey, man, look. Bruh, they got to do something about that. They're not going to pay attention to her in a minute. For you to put that much pressure on yourself to be like, oh yeah, I'm on Clarissa Shield level, man, just be great and see what happens. Now you going out there struggling with Katie Taylor. She goes out there and beat you at your own style. That's why it's the work. That's why the performance is so bad. She went out there and beat her in her own style. Matter of fact, I might get flagged for this, but I don't even care. I might go find the video where she clashed heads with this girl. Where they clash heads in. Bruh, I looked at this today. I'm like, do y'all know how bad this is? Where is it at? Where is it at? They still got it up there. They didn't took it down. I'm tell you why it's so bad. It's bad because that means she been head clashing the whole time. That means she been head clashing the whole time, bro. Watch this video. You said Rolly is disrespectful? Bro. Let me show you what she did last night. Here you go right here. Look at this. Bro, look at how she punching, bro. Do y'all see that, bro? Look at how she punching, bro. Bro, did y'all see that, bro? Like, look at this, bro. Really look at this. Like, she got cracked coming in. Boom. Come on, man. It was that bad last night. Like, what was that? I seen that. I'm like, how many times have you done that? Because, you know, if Katie Taylor being the aggressive one, she looks like, okay, she's coming in like that. But now when you see them kind of just sitting there, it's like, oh, so she's not really landing anything. Like Katie Taylor's landing in that sequence right there. Like she literally had, you said, but I understand what you're saying. But as far as why I say Rolly versus Ryan is because, let's just say this. The perfect scenario for Amanda Serrano to win was the way that Katie Taylor fought last night. She was not aggressive at all. Yeah, it's one of the worst trilogies ever. Ever. Even what's her name? Michaela Mayer, she said we shouldn't have had a third fight. It's the worst ever. And I'm gonna tell you what's bad about it. What's bad about it is the girls like Carolyn Dubois, like Alicia Baumgartner, Shields, Shadasia Green. Shadasia Green is a basketball player, an ex-basketball player. And she's probably gonna have a better resume than Amanda Serrano. Shadasia Green has fought an undisputed fighter. She just fought Savannah Marshall, a legend, and she just fought Melinda Wafu, who was like one of the longest reigning champions in boxing. And that was her last 3 or 4 fights. And you fighting Katie Taylor 3 times and losing. Nah. You finna get left behind. She finna get passed up. So she finna get passed. We got Carolyn Dubois, who a female who probably just had fight of the year right now. I don't know if everybody's seen it, but Daniel Dubois' sister got like fight of the year right now. Right now. As a female. And who you gonna fight after this? Because Katie Taylor, what? She 39, Serrano 36. Who you gonna fight after this? Like really? I'm telling you, it's like a female version of Canelo versus Triple G. Because right at the Triple G and Canelo fought, what everybody said, man, Canelo, who you gonna fight? So really, right now, I think both of them gonna sneak out the back door. They talking about, yeah, Dubois sister up next for real. She really up next. They had some good fights last night on the undercard. That's why Serrano and Taylor not having a good fight was very disappointing. I'm talking about them girls was fighting last night. The referees was horrible. I think all the women fighters showed up last night, but the referees was terrible. But I had to really sit back and think about the performance last night, bro. And I was like, yeah, it wasn't that bad. You know, when after I watched Serrano and Taylor last night, I was like, yeah, it wasn't that bad of a fight. It was technical. Then I thought about it. Then I seen the head clash. I'm like, so now if you go back and watch the fight, and if you slow it down to slow mo, the first two fights, because you know I'm man enough to admit if I'm wrong. Because I picked Serrano. I thought Serrano lost. I thought she won the last fight, the second one. But if Taylor is landing when they're clashing heads, before they're clashing heads, that's going to make a big difference. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, because the way Serrano threw her head into Taylor's head, that Katie Taylor not really initiating these headbutts. I was saying last night. I can't say for sure in the first two fights. I'll be capping. But last night, you said she at the end of her career. I think let me see. As far as Serrano, I don't know. She's not old like a Holly Holm. Holly Holm just fought recently. I think Holly Holm like what, 40 something. I gotta see how old Holly Holm is. Most of these women boxers are 40, 38, 40, 45. Because Holly Holm, she wants to fight. Holly Holm wants to fight Amanda Serrano. I don't know if everybody knows that or not. Holly Holm, I forgot to post that video. I've been busy, man. Had a lot of business going on. Holly Holm, I'm gonna post a video today. Matter of fact, I'm gonna post it today. I'm gonna do like 10 videos today. Holly Holm wants to fight Amanda Serrano. She's 43 years old. She just had her first fight in boxing in like 12 years, 12 or 13 years. It's been 12 years since she boxed. And she fought a dog. I don't know if everybody seen that Mexican fighter that Holly Holm fought on the Jake Paul card. It was like the best fight on the card. Besides that Griffin fight. But yeah, she hasn't fought in 12 years. She wants to fight Amanda Serrano. So that'd be a good fight Serrano can have, you know, for the end of her career. Holly Holm. You said, but bruh, Holly fought a dog, bruh. Holly fought a girl, a Mexican fighter. The Guadalupe girl, Guadalupe, she was undefeated in Mexico. A dog. And she fights at 40, and she went to Holly fought her at 30, 36 or something like that, 35. But Holly fought an undefeated Mexican fighter, her first fight back in 10 years. And the girl is a dog. Like, to be honest with you, it was almost where Holly was gonna get the brakes beat off of her. The last couple of rounds she pulled it off, but the girl she fought, man, she was like one of those girls who fought last night. But that would actually be a very good fight. Holly got her. I mean, Amanda can fight Baumgartner right now. She can fight Holly Holmes, she can have a all-time resume right now. If she go out there and beat Holly Holmes is probably considered right now one of the best, if not the best, combat women fighter of all time. Just based off of her MMA and boxing career. And based off of what she just did in the ring 2 weeks ago. That was a big deal. Like, I ain't never seen that before. Yeah. Holly Holm, the way she shut Ronda down, I was like, yeah, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I couldn't stand Ronda. But Ronda Rousey was big for women's sports, though. I ain't gonna care. I knew that already, but started to get out of hand a little bit. That's why when everybody be like, man, Clarissa, she thinks she could beat dudes. Man, Serrano talking about she could beat Floyd. I ain't talking about Clarissa Shield thinking that she could beat a elite fighter or something. All right, that's different. Talking about a girl who can beat Floyd. Come on now. You ain't never heard Clarissa Shields say, man, I can beat Floyd. I done heard Ronda Rousey say it. That's why I'm like, yeah, who got more of a chance of being an elite boxer right now? That's a man. Ronda Rousey or Clarissa Shields? We know what the answer is. And technically, on paper, real talk, as far as the sparring, I've heard she has. Yeah, she a Hall of Famer on both sides. Man, I seen a girl recently sparring a dude. I got to post a picture. I forgot where it's at. And she a champion. These girls be like, man, I ain't finna be sparring no guys. Okay, you gonna be fighting like Serrano did last night. Oh yeah. Nah, I think Serrano and Taylor was a good matchup because out of the lower weight classes, Serrano is the most famous one. She had the most fights. She been in the biggest fights, the best fights. So you really couldn't use nobody else. Everybody else young. Now you can use her. To be honest with you, after Holly Holmes left, her and Serrano was actually going to fight because I think Holly Holmes had just beat a girl that beat Serrano's sister or something like that. So whoever had retired Serrano's sister, Holly Holmes had ended up beating the girl before she went and fought Ronda Rousey. That's when she went, fought Ronda Rousey in the UFC. Then that's when she stayed over in the UFC. But if she wouldn't have beat Ronda Rousey would have went out there and beat not Amanda Serrano, but Holly Holm, she would have been back in boxing fighting Serrano. So this is a fight that actually was supposed to happen probably like 10 years ago. You said Clarissa thinking she can beat Keith is crazy. But you know Clarissa Shields actually growing up, she sparred nothing but dudes though. That's why these other girls is no disrespect, but they kind of trash when it come to like them headbutting and like we still got headbutting and fighting. The referee got to break the fight up every 5 minutes. Like we got kids in there. No disrespect, I'm just being real. Like with Clarissa Shields, you don't got to worry about that because she fight dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like that fight they had last night with Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano, you'll never see a Clarissa Shields fight like that. It looked like the kids putting on gloves and going like, then the ref breaking it up. That's why when they criticize Clarissa Shields fighting dudes, I'm like, that's kind of why she's the best. It's kind of why she's if the best fighters out here is, and her boyfriend was a ex-boyfriend is a guy who just fought Erickson Lubin on Pro Box. You said sparring and fighting is different though. Yeah, that is true. That is true, but you got to think about what kind of mindset she got though, bruh. And to be real with you, I respect it because I don't want to say this right now because Tank just had this situation, but word on the street is, look at the situation Tank got going on. Tank fighting with a girl right now and ain't even she ain't even Clarissa Shields or nothing. You got a girl on the street right now that thinks she can beat Tank in a fight. Allegedly. It is. I don't know a girl like her who don't think she can't beat a dude up. I hate to take it there, but keep it a buck. And this girl's an elite boxer. I'm just telling you right now, if you're a male, if a man on the street right now thinks if he runs up on Clarissa Shields and he won't get the brakes beat off of him, okay, I'll just put it that way. If I can put a bet down right now, she can beat down a dude off the street. Now, if he catch her with a clean shot, that's something else. But yeah, it, and speaking of Tank, man, you know what I'm saying? As far as that situation, uh, and I was gonna say this a couple of weeks ago, but I wasn't even gonna get into it like that because it'd be a lot of stuff going on. To be honest with you, so you really got to sit back and watch. But I was hearing a lot of fans online talking about how people are not saying something about Devin Haney, his situation with a girl saying that he ain't seeing this kid, and then something else about that, bro. You see how many fights happened this weekend, bro? People can't keep up with all that. And first of all, so every time a girl come out and say something about any boxer out here, we supposed to respond every time, every girl. So if 50 girls come out next week and be like, hey, so and so did this, I gotta report it. Man, stop it. First of all, Tank Davis got arrested, and now we got people around here with different feelings. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Boxing kind of weird. I think the sport's still good, but I'm talking on the outside. To the point where Tank Davis is getting arrested, but Devin Haney's having some girl come out and put a story on Instagram or something. That's bigger than guys. Tank Davis getting arrested a month before Lamont Rose fight. This is a big deal. I just where the energy be going sometime with boxing. I'm like, bro, I understand. Some people like the drama or whatever and everything, but it's kind of like, bro, this is affecting his career. This man went to jail. He only fought one time the year he went to jail. He's on probation. Then right now, you don't know what's gonna happen as far as um, everything that's happened in the past and what's going on now. Then this happened a month ago, bro. It's too much going on. Way too much going on. But I will say this though: what I said about Tank in the past, it stands the same no matter what. People do not want to hold bro accountable. They do not want to judge him the same way they judge everybody else. And it's not going to help him, and it hasn't helped him. Bro about to be 31 years old in a couple months. I mean, a few months. It ain't about to help him as far as in this situation. Because for all the reasons people don't like Devin Haney, it's the reasons why he ain't going to jail like Tank. For every reason why people don't like Devin. What's going on, Chris? What's up, dog? For every reason why people don't like Devin Haney, that's what's going on with Tank. That's the reason why stuff ain't going right with him. Now everybody like, yeah, Tank need to get away from Floyd. This person need to get that. Just blaming everybody. Who you gonna blame in this? They've been blaming everybody since the situation happened. Rose said the fight's still on. I think the fight's still on. I don't think they're just gonna have a press conference because I think when they decided to have a press conference, he already had stuff going on to the point where it was like, okay, because I don't even want to say this, but they be pressing me about certain stuff I be saying. But they put this news out right before all these fights is happening this weekend. So by the time the weekend over with, it can just gotta die down a little bit, whatever. It's just nasty, bro. The way the media moving right now, it's nasty right now. I'll just say that. And Tank gonna learn right now that, bro, you not Ryan Garcia. And anybody who was up here laughing at Haney last year or whatever, his situation, bro, Ryan at the crib right now. And you got Tank getting arrested like Ryan did last year. But guess what? Tank mug shout out. And you seeing that it's all over every website. Every place is reporting it. It's easy to find. You ain't gotta look hard. Like the same people that Tank was over there laughing with last year, now they over here reporting him talking about, man, he done fell off, man. It be the same ones. The same ones. Shout out to Chris. That too. Let me see what Chris said. He said that but I highly doubt they fighting on the 16th. I can see Tank backing out, making an excuse. I ain't mentally ready, being arrested for a couple of hours. Yeah, I can too. I think it still could happen, but I don't know. Roach fighting somebody else right now would be bad for Tank. Cause the situation still gonna come back. Like, man, you should have fought Roach, man. That knee, it's always gonna come up. Yeah, exactly. Same dudes pressing everybody about, yeah, what about Devin? Bro, an accusation? So if somebody come out and accuse one of these YouTubers right now, I'm supposed to be like, yeah, y'all heard about old boy? Like, bro, this dude went to jail. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if everybody know this, but Fox reported this, not some girl on Instagram. Yeah, these guys don't know about boxing, man. A lot of boxers get arrested like this all the time with a female, all this stuff. But bro, when you on a video dragging a girl across the gym, that's why I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Any of these dudes who was talking about Devin Haney's baby mama from now, in the past, now or later, none of those dudes got a video on their channel talking about Tank dragging an old girl across the gym. And it's on video. Talking about somebody hating on Tank. That's why I be blocking dudes when they say that to me. Do you see me on here having a video talking about him dragging an old girl across the gym? I wish somebody would come to my channel talking about I'm hating on Tank. Man, please. That man dragging an old girl across the gym and everybody be like, yeah, y'all heard about Haney? Heard about what? Heard? Man, we got dudes dragging girls on video, punching girls out on video. We talking about what we done heard. Nah, it ain't a new video. It's an old video when some girl was I don't know who she was. I guess she was with Tank or whatever. I don't know what girl she was allegedly. But he grabbed her at some gym or whatever and dragged her across the gym like she was a kite. You would thought he had a kite in his hand or something. Everybody told me, yeah, man, you heard about Haney? Man, please stop it. That showed me right there you ain't a Tank fan. You don't even know what brother did. He out here flying girls like kites, bro. What's the little thing you like and you fly in the air when somebody get married, or you having a candlelight or whatever. I'm like, yeah, these dudes ain't Tank fans. They don't remember him dragging the girl across the gym. Now, if Devin Haney would have did that, it would have went viral, bro. That's why after 2025, no lie, I've been supporting Tank for a long time. He's not the face of boxing, bro. Sorry to tell you. And this the year I said it was gonna happen. He ain't the face of boxing, and I rock with Tank. But bro, while all this got going on, you still gotta fight, and that's what people don't realize. You can like a fighter, bro, but while all this going on, you still gotta go out there and fight. People be like, yeah, man, Mike Tyson had way too much going on. But with all that going on, bro still went out there and fought. He said, my thing is with Tank, he could have fought and used all that angry energy that he had for his baby mama allegedly on Roach. But instead, he postponed the fight and pushed it back. Nasty work. Yeah, the fight was supposed to be in June. You keep postponing Roach. And Roach out here, he got names like Keyshawn and Shakur. They talking about fighting him. They like, man, I'm trying to fight Roach, man. I ain't trying to fight Tank. After one fight. You know, I ain't even peeped that, to be honest with you. But they like, man, I'm trying to fight Roach. I ain't even trying to fight Tank no more. So people don't even look at Tank the same. And dudes that have been in the ring with Tank, they like, man, he don't look good under them lights. But yeah, they better start reporting real news out here, man. Because a lot of this stuff that be going on outside the ring sometimes, the only time I report on stuff outside the ring is when I know for sure it's going to come back to hunt you inside the ring. And people going to say, man, Tank, he going to lose his next fight because he had this situation going on. I'm sorry to tell you, bro, but for the last 15 fights, Tank done always had something going on. That's Tank Davis. He always got something going on. He always got something going on. Getting out of jail or going in, whatever it is. It's always going to be something going on. The assistant dude trying to put him on blast recently with the smoking video or whatever, he always going to have something going on. That's part of the problem. That's part of the problem. And people last year said, oh, Haney need Floyd Mayweather. And I had to stand on business and say he don't need Floyd Mayweather. And the person who needs Floyd right now more than anybody is the person they said don't need anybody. Because he get a couple of knockouts, he don't need nobody no more. Bro, that's not a fighter who needs to be listening to fans to make a decision because he can't move like that. It's certain people who can do that, and now fans starting to realize, oh, Haney the type of guy that if you put some names out there, he'll fight them. Now they starting to realize Brian Norman the same way. Man, ain't nobody thinking about Devin Haney fighting Tank Davis right now. They ain't thinking about Devin Haney fighting Shakur Stevenson. They're not thinking about matter of fact, they're not even thinking about Shakur fighting Tank right now. More people like, hey, if Roach win, then this could happen. And I said that before. Do I think Tank scared to fight? I mean, I don't know. As far as scared, I wouldn't say scared, but is he going out there like Haney is? No, he's not. Like Haney can't even fake that he won't fights. If Haney was like, man, I don't want no fights right now, I'm just chilling. He can't even fake it. Everybody know he want to fight right now. Then the problem with these older boxers is you got too many young guys now who really want to fight. And they in the gym getting better. It's gonna be more Brian Normans, Abdullah Masons, and it's gonna get worse and worse. That's all I see happening. With Turkey showing up, it's just gonna open the doors up for guys to really have to fight. Because when Turkey putting these cards together, he ain't. You can tell right now, Turkey ain't building up no fights. I told everybody, building up fights is over. I see people still trying to build up fights. That's what's up. Building up fights is done. That's over with. Brian Norman ain't trying to build no fight with Devin Haney. Matter of fact, he said last year around the Boots in this time when he was trying to get a fight with Boots, he said, I'll fight Haney or Garcia if the Boots name don't go through. And he fighting Haney. So yeah, all that building up fights and stuff, man, these dudes don't care about that. They don't care about undefeated. They don't care about O's. As long as the money there, they fight. That's all. And that's what we see right now. With Shakur, the same thing. As long as the money there, boom. As long as the fight, the opponent there, it's getting made. But yeah, this is bad timing for Tank right now. If Shakur go out there and get a knockout today, that'll be the worst thing that ever could happen to Tank right now. That'll be the worst thing that could happen to Keyshawn right now. Because then, for sure, that's going to make Shakur look unstoppable if he go out there and stop Zepeda. And he going to for sure be the king of 135. I think he is right now. But I think for sure he's going to be the king of 135 after this. Yeah, it's a lot of names getting. And then seeing Abdullah Mason last night on stage with Benavidez. Bro, I'm telling you, this was scary last night. Seeing Abdullah Mason on stage with Benavidez, Haney, Norman, all these guys up there, I'm like, that's supposed to be Tank up there. To be honest with you. It's supposed to be Tank. I know a lot of people saying, yeah, man, they moving fast on Abdullah Mason right now. Yeah, but they move fast on Tank too. You know what I'm saying? They move fast with Haney too. They move fast with Shakur too. They move fast. Shout out to Jordan Smith. They move fast with a lot of these guys. Bam Rodriguez, they move fast with. When you got the talent and you want to fight, they're going to move fast with you. So, yeah, last night was really an eye-opener because I'm like, man, you got Abdullah Mason right now at 135, possibly going to take a spot. You got Andy Cruz hanging around, doesn't have a belt, trying to get one. Then you have Tank getting arrested right now in the middle of a Lamont Roach rematch he's supposed to be having. It's not good. I'm telling you, it's definitely not good. Because I'm going to tell you right now, Shakur did the perfect thing he was supposed to do. Zepeda is going to try to punch Shakur every chance he get. I think Shakur doing what he's doing on this picture is going to make sure that Zepeda is going to try to throw 1,000 punches. I don't think the fight going 12. Ain't no way. It's going to be too physical, I think. It's going to be a cut. Something going to happen where it's just no way it's going to be able to go 12 rounds. Shakur ain't really been in the ring with somebody like this, but I think he's going to stop him. Be honest with you. Zepeda pissed off, though. He's like, man, he shot a middle finger at my mama yesterday. Shakur said, man, whoever was over there, I don't know who was over there. Somebody cussing at me. Called me Cameron, so whoever was over there, that's who I was shooting the middle finger at. So that right there, oh no. I think the Hamza Shiraz and Berlanga situation is real beef, though. I think that's real beef. I don't think that's no made up. They trying to sell a fight. Too close to the fight right now. I don't think they're trying to sell no tickets. Like, dudes just trying to get in front of Canelo again. And, you know, I heard people saying that different guys are trying to get a fight with Canelo, like Shiraz and Berlanga. So, yeah, they kind of looking at it from that kind of standpoint. And Shiraz is like 26. So he's not that old. He's like the same age as Keyshawn and Haney. So he's still like a young guy. So this is a big step up fight for him still. And for him, I'm gonna be honest with you, for him to fight Adames, I don't know how old he was when he fought Adames, but for him to fight Adames and Berlanga by 26, that's a big deal. It's a big deal. He's a 160. He's a big 160 though. But that's a big deal, I think. Even if he loses, it's going to be a big deal. It really is. I think he's the guy who will step in the ring with anybody, to be honest with you. I think he will. And Berlanga didn't have a bad performance against Canelo, so I think a lot of people saying that this could be an easy fight for Shiraz. I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think Berlanga, if he needs to fight in the inside, he's going to be great in the inside. And I think Shiraz is going to have trouble there. So that's kind of what Adames was doing, but he got away from it in the middle rounds because I'm telling you, if you slow the fight down a little bit, Shiraz was landing a couple of those shots in the inside, uppercuts. It was only like 1 or 2 punches that was saving him. I think it was a straight, then a right hook that was saving him. No, I think it was a jab, right hook that was saving him. But the uppercut in the inside, those 3 punches against Berlanga, if he uses those, yeah, but Berlanga don't really be off balance like that. His chin don't really be hanging over like that to the point where you can uppercut him easy. So he's kind of actually, from what I've seen, one of the hardest guys to uppercut. So yeah, it's gonna be a hard fight for Shiraz to really get to Berlanga. And Berlanga, I didn't know this. His arm reach is almost the same size as Shiraz. Shiraz is like 73, Berlanga 71. I said, whoa. You said you got Shiraz by decision? Yeah, man, I really want to, I don't know. That fight between Shiraz and Berlanga, that's a hard pick. I want to pick Shiraz. I'm going with Berlanga. I think Berlanga going to pull it off. But Shiraz, man, he might have a situation. Like last night, I wanted to pick Green, but I went with Marshall. And I knew, I'm like, man, this is a step-up fight for Green. It's the toughest fighter she's been in the ring with, even though she fought undisputed fighter already. Yeah, he about to try to KO him. Because Berlanga knows, man, this is a 160, bro. If I lose to a 160, I'm not going to lie to you. If he goes out there and lose to a guy who just came up from 160, everybody at 68 going to try to fight him. And he going to have to stay away from 175. That's the only kind of pressure I see on him. I don't want to think about it like that because it's boxing. You know, you can lose to anybody. But I'm just saying, the optics is not going to look good. He lose to a guy who just came from 160 and struggled against the dumbest. Everybody at 168 going to try to fight him. And he might lose to Pacheco. I thought recently he might lose to Pacheco, but it's a good chance he can lose to Pacheco, though. So Berlanga got to get this fight. So I'm rolling with Berlanga in this one. Yeah, he's going to try to catch him coming in every time. Yeah, Shiraz, his inside fighting is not good, though. I don't think it's because his arm's long. I just think he don't got the experience in there like that. He even said it recently, like the way guys spar over here and over there is different. So he's not even used to the sparring. Like Berlanga said that too, like the style matchup. I didn't really think about it. He was just like over here, over there, it's different. And it will be different because Berlanga can go from puncher to boxer in like 5 seconds. I think he's an underrated boxer. I think he's a very underrated boxer. To be honest with you, I think I haven't gave him credit enough as far as how much of a boxer he was before the Canelo fight, though. I don't think the Canelo fight changed nothing for me. I wasn't really impressed with his performance in the Canelo fight. I felt like he could have won the Canelo early. But before the Canelo fight, I already thought that he was a elite boxer though. He just ain't got no rounds. If you look at it, all those first round knockouts he had, that's just one round he had. So in 17 fights, he only fought what? 17 rounds. So that definitely ain't good. I thought if he would have waited like 2 more fights for Canelo, would have had some difficult fights that would have went the distance, would have had a better chance. Because he wasn't gassed out or nothing when he fought Canelo. And he was punching him like, I know you Canelo, like, but I'm going to try to knock you out. Especially when Canelo was walking off. He let Canelo know, like, hey, I'm going to try to knock you out no matter what. If you ain't looking, you don't hear the bell on time. So, yeah, he don't show guys respect. I don't think that's just not a personality he try to put on. He really don't respect guys when you get in the ring with him. Because anybody else, they wouldn't have did that with Canelo. If he wouldn't have looked and try to hit him, they would have looked at the ref like, what is he doing? Berlanga like, yeah, what is he doing? Boom. So, yeah, I think that's going to be a good matchup. A very good matchup. But, yeah, Tank Davis, though, this is not good, bro. Tank need this fight to happen for him more than anybody else. He needs this fight to happen. Because there's a lot of guys on people's heels right now. Turkey Al-Sheikh being in boxing is not helping the boxers who's 30 and up. Everybody who's 30 and up right now, they got to start putting some fights together because you got Bam Rodriguez fighting next week. Then he already got a fight lined up where he fighting on the Haney card. So I was saying recently, hey, he might replace anyway. That's what I'm talking about. And then you got Shakur fighting tonight. If Tank don't fight Roach, I know somebody who will. Shakur will fight Roach. So really, everybody already got fights they can line up. But Tank fight once this year, it's going to hurt him. He better do what he needs to get in the ring right now. Even him postponing the fight right now be bad because if he fights in, November, October, they'll push the fight back to like October. I don't know if they'll fight in November because of what Haney and the Norman fight. If Tank don't fight in August, it will be November, December, or next year. No, it'll be October. My bad, October, December, or next year. I'm telling you that right now. Because to be honest with you, like the undercard for Barrios got set up. We already knew about most of that. Most of these undercards you already know about. Like Terrence Crawford undercard already set up. You know, PBC like to do them late, but because most guys will be already training. But to not do a press conference for a Tank fight, it's wild, man. It really is. I'm talking about he better pull it together ASAP. If not, he gonna get left behind. I'm talking about all these guys. Keyshawn the same way. Bro, this era of boxing right now, this is not like the last 10 years, what they've been watching. See, right now, we got a lot of young guys like around Keyshawn them age. They coming into boxing thinking, oh, I'm going to do what everybody else been doing, calling guys out. Oh, I bet you won't fight me. Trying to build a fight up. And Turkey is like, nah, we ain't doing that no more. Let me call Devin Haney real quick. Let me call Brian Norman. Hey, y'all want to fight? Yeah. Oh, all right, let's put that together. That's what they doing now. Like after Turkey called Canelo, this was in January. After Turkey called Canelo at like 6 o'clock in the morning, he's like, hey, what you doing over there with Jake Paul? Oh, we got a fight we signed. Oh, yeah, we ain't finna do no deal then. I have Benavidez replace you. Because y'all heard what Turkey said. He asked Benavidez, Will you go to 160 to fight Crawford? Benavidez said, I thought about it. Like, it almost went left for Canelo real quick. He lucky Benavidez ain't like 3 or 4 years younger. Benavidez would have made 160 on him. It would have been Benavidez versus Crawford. You said you can see Tank trying to fight Shakur next and retiring. The only reason I say I can see Shakur not fighting Tank next, because if I'm Shakur, if Tank don't fight Roach, if Roach is still available, because if they don't fight by August 16th, that means Shakur gonna be available and Lamont Roach gonna be available. Lamont Roach just want to fight for a belt. He don't care if it's Tank. He don't care if it's Shakur. So I think if Roach don't fight Tank, I think Shakur gonna fight him. I think even if Roach do fight Tank, Shakur will still fight him. So I can say that's more of a sure fight right now. With Tank, I don't know what PBC is doing, because I just heard Pitbull say the only fight he'll go to 35 for right now is Tank, nobody else. So that's still a possibility. You know, PBC can do anything. They pulled out Lamont Roach last year. It could be De Los Santos next or something. So with Tank, it could be anybody right now, but his career it's going backwards, man. I don't know if people know it or not. Like, boxing is moving. Like, he only fighting once a year. And the guys he said that's trash is moving in boxing right now. Yeah, it's crazy, bro. Crazy. And show you how much a year changed. A lot of stuff in boxing. Everybody last year, man, Tank that guy, bro. Tank. Even the boxers, I'm like, I know Tank good, bro, but you as a boxer, you're going out of your way to like roll out the red carpet for him for real. As a competitor. The guys who ain't saying that is guys who actually been friends with him before. But they like, nah, I'm better than him. Those are boxers, I'm like, okay, I can respect that. And those are the guys who putting the fights together right now. Man, people look crazy trying to doubt Devin Haney as a fighter. Tank does, regardless. That's why people thought they were saying something when they like, yeah, Tank right about Haney. Bruh, the man is just talking trash and you taking it serious. Because everything Haney doing, he ain't doing. And everything that Haney is doing, they want Tank to do. They want Tank to fight Lomachenko. They want Tank to fight even a Kambosos, I heard. Even Kambosos, bro. You know it's sad when people like, man, I want to see Tank fight Kambosos. Like, his career getting left behind for real. And people think it's a game. They worrying about who hating on Tank and Devin Haney versus Tank, which might not ever happen. The only one you probably gonna see is the sparring match. They got millions of views. Yeah, that fight might not ever happen. Because by the time Tank fight Devin Haney, this is what people ain't gonna tell y'all. By the time, if Tank does fight Devin Haney in the future, by the time he does fight him, Haney gonna be a bigger name. He's not gonna go through all these big fights with Norman and everybody else and be a smaller name than Tank. It's not gonna happen. It's just not. Even the way Norman's getting talked about now, he's passing a lot of these fighters off of just one knockout. Not just one knockout for me, but for other people. Now you got people saying, yeah, he can beat Haney. So yeah, just making the fights happen. I'm telling you, just one fight Tank had with Lamont Roach changed boxing. Just one fight that Brian Norman had that nobody wanted to see with Jen Sasaki. Then they ended up wanting to see it, and it was a great fight. That changed boxing. I think Shakur with Zepeda tonight gonna change it. It's a lot of changes being made. That's why I said, man, Keyshawn dropping the ball a couple of months ago. Well, not a couple of months ago, last month is that was a huge mistake, bro. You're gonna get left behind like that. For real. If you got Lamont Roach who can come up right now and compete with Tank, imagine how many other guys is gonna get started. I don't know if everybody's seen the sparring thing they had yesterday in New York with Turkey in the Ring magazine. I'm gonna try to find it and post it on my page. I ain't watched it yet. I seen clips of it because I seen it pop up on my YouTube. Then I went live. I was like, what is that they just had going on? And I'm gonna post it on the page, but they had some kind of sparring. I know a lot of people seen it. Ring magazine had a sparring event yesterday. Matter of fact, I'll play it, man. It is what it is. I'm gonna show y'all. Turkey out here making a move, dog. Let me show y'all this, man. This is crazy. Where is it at? Man, check this out. They had a lot of fighters from like they go Coach Calvin and Coach Kenny over there in the corner. They had a lot of guys. These is like legit pros in the ring. So yesterday, I think this was yesterday, they had some guys that was trying to fight for a chance to be on the Canelo and Crawford card. So bro, they had a sparring video. They had a sparring where whoever comes in there, if you look a certain way, you can get a chance to be on the Canelo and Crawford undercard. No, they had one fight. Hey J man, I didn't know that. It was for Dev and Benavidez. They had Jaleel Hackett and Ellis, I think, fighting for a Canelo Crawford spot. Man, all this was going on yesterday. This is basically like when the NBA used to grab them. Y'all remember when Lil B had came out the street? These are pros, but I'm saying, you remember when Lil B had came out the street? You like finna try to try out, basically like you know that what the NBA was. Yeah, but to get on Crawford and Canelo is the same, bro. Ain't no other promoter doing nothing like that. You giving the guy a chance. A no name. You said Scobie showed out? Yeah, this Scobie Lane right here. Let me move this right here. That's Scobie Lane though. Let me go ahead and move this. Yeah, this kind of Scobie more of a fighter like this. Like he'll go in there and box the guy this way. I'm supposed to do a story on Scobie too. John Ingram just called him out. John Ingram want to fight him. I know they both at 140. But yeah, I seen yeah, that's Jaleel Hackett and Rashidi Ellis right there. Bro, they not showing the whole room, bro. It's a lot of people in there, bro. If y'all look like behind that wall, it's people all through that tunnel. Yeah, Turkey changing the game, bro. And these real guys they got in the ring too. These guys, they fight for a chance to be on the Canelo Crawford card. You'll have anybody come out there. Yeah, Turkey changing the game though. He definitely is. When I seen this, I was like, yeah, this is an idea I never seen before. So you got a lot of promoters that like, man, I got a fighter. If I put him in the ring with a guy, just give him one chance. And that's what they doing. These dudes fighting too, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know, you always got a promoter that's not a promoter, but a trainer. That's like, man, I got one guy. He just need one chance. The white guy throwing them hands right here. Yeah, the both of them, a good jab. But yeah, this is a game changer right here though. That's why I said they're gonna have so people said, man, where Dana White gonna get the fighters from? He ain't gonna have enough money to pay these guys. Man, I'm telling you, it ain't gonna be the money that's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be the talent. He gonna have so many options for talent that it's gonna be insane. That's why recently I was gonna go back and try to study the fighters from like the 60s, 50s, and 40s, but I'm like, bro, they're gonna have so many fighters come out now that you're really gonna have to focus on this era a little bit more. Oh, they go Scobie right there. Ooh, 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 whoa. Yeah, I ain't like that, bro. That punch right there, I don't too much know about that, bro. It was borderline, but I don't know about that one. I seen that yesterday. I'm like, I don't know about that, bro. I ain't gonna cap to you though. I will say this. Yeah, he kept it on the side, but it was borderline though. He kept it on the side, but it was borderline. It was behind the ear, but he kept it on the side though. It went directly behind the head. But yeah, bro fighting for all he heard was Canelo and Crawford, and he was like, yeah, somebody gotta go. He heard Canelo versus Crawford card, and he said somebody gotta go. Somebody gotta go. Yeah, I seen it yesterday. I was like, bro, that's bad right there. That's behind the head. Yeah, that's borderline right there, bro. Circumstances, cause that was what Marquise Taylor. He been trying to get a chance for real. So yeah, that was definitely borderline. But man, they was throwing some hands. Yeah, man, Turkey changing the game right now. I like what he's doing. And he not taking boxing away from America, or nothing like that. But he's building what he's building as far as boxing. He's gonna give out more opportunities though. Because a lot of those guys, some of those guys only fought like once or twice the last couple of years. So yeah, that's a good opportunity for those guys to get a chance, man. Then last night, having the women's card on last night, I always wanted to see a women's card like that growing up. So yeah, they got a lot of stuff going on in boxing right now where, I can't really complain too much. It's more than what I've been getting in the past 20 years. So, I'm good with the way boxing going right now. They cleaning some things up. Everything ain't gonna be perfect, but they moving in the right direction right now. I will say that. With the matchups, I want to see Turkey put more of his own cards together. I think the ring 3 card is for sure ideas of Turkey. But I think when he wants to look back, he wants to be like, hey, I put this card together myself, and this the way it looks. But that Ring 3 card, it's amazing. I think he's gonna add more names on there. I'm hearing rumors of Jerron Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz. They might save that for another date though. But the way Turkey moving, he ain't saving no big fights for like next year or even the next month. Because he could wait and just save some of these fights for December or October or Bitter Biv and Bibble. But he like, I'm gonna just put a whole card together right now. And whatever everybody else figure out, they'll figure it out. I don't know what's going on with the Bibble situation, but let me get Benavidez and everybody who's ready to go right now. And that's what we'll do. And guys got no excuses because you're going to get paid good every time. Even Canelo can turn down the money. So, yeah, the money they're getting right now to fight certain guys, it ain't no excuses. But it's a different era, though. I think after the night, it's going to be a different era because you really don't have no boxers from back in the day or for the past 10 years that really been active that's on this card. You know, no Caleb Plants or anybody like that. So it's a lot of changes being made tonight. Like, this is a whole different era they have. Even when Norman and Benavidez and Haney and all those guys fight, it's going to be a different era. I think next year it's going to be a complete change in boxing. All the elite fighters from 2020 is most likely going to be phased out or phasing out. Even Usyk thinking about hanging it up. Because he now knows, man, any fight can get made. And it's hard for guys to say, yeah, I want to have certain fights put together. A lot of people want to have certain fights put together right now. I don't think it's too much ducking going on, but it's certain fights wanting to get put together where guys is like, I want to fight Shakur before I fight Tank. I want to fight Haney before I fight Shakur. You know, a lot of that stuff going on. I think it's more of that going on than anything. Like, guys are trying to line themselves up with a big fight. Because right now, you got a lot of people calling out Wilder more than they calling out Usyk, Joshua, or Fury at heavyweight. So some guys, they're just thinking about, man, I know this is for sure payday. A lot of people know that Haney will jump in the ring with him. Let me call him out. Because most of the guys that call Haney out, they ain't calling nobody else out right now. So they know for sure these guys are getting in the ring and it'll be a big payday. But anybody else, if you're a heavyweight and you fight Frank Sanchez, you ain't finna get paid like that. You fight Wilder, you get paid. You fight Haney, you'll get paid. Because guys who fight Haney get paid. Guys who fight Wilder get paid. So that's still what a lot of boxers are looking at more than anything. They want to line themselves up with a guy who can bring in the big money. And if you look good in the fight, even if you lose, people will still know who you are. So you're getting a lot of accommodations when you fight guys like that. You fight Wilder, you're gonna be famous, even if you get knocked out. And you get a bag of money. A lot of guys, if you fight them in boxing, you ain't gonna get famous. You fight Wilder, you're gonna get famous. You might be more famous than guys who are elite in boxing. It's probably guys, I don't want to say that because that'll be disrespect. No, I am gonna say this. It's guys that got knocked out by Wilder that's probably gonna be more famous than guys that was on pound for pound list just because they got knocked out by Wilder. So that's why certain matchups is actually want to get made. Even right now, when Jarrell Miller name get brought up, he aligning himself with Joshua and Wilder. Nowhere near the level of Wilder and Joshua. But if he keeps saying their name long enough, it sounds like it belongs there. So, you know, it's a good strategy. Definitely a good strategy, but I don't think it's gonna work because Turkey, like I said, bro, Turkey thinking about. I ain't got too much news back on the Jared Anderson and Jarrell Miller thing, but seemed like Jared Anderson, he ready to go. Jarrell Miller, he's still walking around talking about Wilder and Joshua, and it looks like he's not in his contract that he was in. He wanted to be away from the promoter he was with, so I guess he's directly dealing with Turkey allegedly. I don't know, but Jared Anderson looked like he ready to go. Now Jarrell Miller, he hasn't said anything about. Um, that's why I said he kind of fall in that category of, yeah, he'll fight people, but what does he really want to do? And where is he at? Where does he feel like he's at? Does he feel like he deserves a big fight right now? He tripping. He definitely tripping. He should have stopped Andrew Ruiz, to be honest with you. If you want to be honest, man, Andrew Ruiz should have got stopped. That was the worst Andrew Ruiz I seen ever. So he really should have got stopped. So yeah, to try to get in the ring with certain guys right now, no, man. I think he needs to look good at heavyweight first, and then make something happen. And he should be lucky that Turkey's still dealing with him because he pulled out of the Wardley fight. That would have been an easy knockout. Because Wardley not really boxing to the point where, as far as like boxing wise, I think Jared Anderson will still be a tougher fight than Wardley. The thing about Jared Anderson is he's trying to exchange with everybody, and that's not gonna work. That's why Bacoli was like, "This dude just gonna stand here and exchange? He's tripping." And kept cracking him. But yeah, they got these fights coming on 2.5 hours with Gary Russell. He about to fight on the prelim card. But PBC usually got good prelims. We're gonna see what they're talking about today. I feel like they got to show up just because of how well everybody fought last night. I feel like the women still fought well last night, but I just felt like some women on the undercard was just fighting hard, even though they could have. Like most women could have went out there and fought different last night, and probably won the fight, but they still wanted to keep the standard as far as letting their hands go. And to have a main event like that last night where you just ain't letting your hands go, that would have put so much pressure on these dudes tonight to show up. I'm talking about the mission was almost complete, bro. I know the Bumgarner fight slowed down a little bit, but it was still some action in that fight. And their faces were swollen, both of them. But all they had to do was show up. They would have sealed the deal. It would have been a new era. But they really dropped the ball last night. They really did. I can honestly say that. And I don't think it goes on Taylor. But yeah, it don't put too much pressure on these guys tonight, but I think the prelims did, but we'll see. We'll see, man. We'll see how this fight turns out tonight. Oh no, I'm thinking about next week. I'm tripping, y'all. I keep saying Gary Russell. Cause they posted I know y'all sitting here like Gary Russell, what is he talking about? My bad, y'all. My bad, man. I'm sitting here thinking, bro. I swear to God, bro. They sit here, they posted the prelims for Gary Russell, and I'm thinking the fight start happening today, bro. I'm already locked in. My bad. I'm thinking about the Pacquiao fight. I promise you, it feel like a Sunday right now. I'm sitting there already locked in. I know the Berlanga fight happened. I seen Gary Russell prelim. I'm like, man, let me get ready for this. Cause I can't believe he fighting on prelim anyways. My bad. I thought the fight was going on today. For some reason. I knew it wasn't going on, but for some reason I thought this prelim was finna start. But it start next week. They already posted it early. Yeah, cause one time, Jay, man, they had posted a prelim, and I thought it was gonna come up on the app, and they played the whole prelims on the online, but not on the app. One time, I was like, bro, what they doing? So now I be like trying to check every time they post a prelim. I gotta remember, but yeah, that prelim coming on at 4:30 though. Well, 5:30 Eastern. I think it's gonna be 4:30 Central Time. But yeah, they're gonna have Gary Russell on the prelim. That looks crazy already. So you know I can't miss that. He usually has some good fights. He let his hands go. Yeah, my bad, y'all. My bad. Yeah, Alicia looked bad with Derrick James last night. We were talking about that last night. She looked horrible with Buddy last night. Man, she looked bad with him last night. I know a lot of them was talking about the size difference on her, but I think more than anything, I think the skills were still there. She looked bad. And I noticed something too, bro. Derrick James be having people just sit there, like patient. Some of these guys be way too patient when they fighting. When I look back now, that probably hurt Spence, Charlo. Joshua didn't look good when he was with him. But yeah, a lot of these people be waiting way too much. I don't know if they looking for something or if he's telling them to don't just go with your first instinct. It look like they going with their second instinct. Because the way she fought last night, I'm telling you, the girl, all she had to do was throw a left hook. Yeah, Derrick James he be running people into the ground. I don't know why she went over there with him. I said last night, she probably could have grabbed any other Mexican trainer like Joel Diaz or Manny Robles. I'm like, I don't know why you grab him. He a big name, but his reputation ain't been too good lately. And he just had a bad fight with Ryan. This girl seen him had that fight with Frank Martin, and she was like, yeah, let me go ahead and get him. Nah, he ain't good, man. I wouldn't work with him. I've seen him do some good things, but I don't know the aggression. Like most of his fighters he have, they just don't have that aggression and that tenacity, that nastiness. It's like it's no dog, man. It's like I don't know what it is. And it's not them. I think Errol Spence is a dog, but I think if your coach is a poodle, you're not gonna get far. You can't have no poodle trying to train a pit bull. I think that's what's going on more than anything. I'm like, man, I don't be trying to hate on dude, but bro, I just don't like his work. I know Flat Out said that he was one of the first guys I heard say that. Like, man, Derrick James ain't it. Then he was a ex-boxer who was terrible. Shout out to Flat Out. Y'all ain't never seen that video Flat Out TV did about Derrick James. I was like, oh man. Well, I was right about that then. Flat Out let it be known. Yeah, I don't know why she left DHP. That doesn't make any sense. I'm like, she can't hit no mountains. It's about the hill he runs. Yeah, bro. That's why it's hard to pick against Devin Haney. That mountain or hill he was running before that Ryan Garcia fight, I was like, whoa. I'm like, yeah, boxers ain't doing this. Yeah, Haney be training like he going to the NFL combine or something. Like for real. I done seen dudes in the NFL do stuff what he be doing. I'm like, yeah, bro. Yeah, Derrick James was getting hit upside his head. I think you can be an okay boxer. I mean, you know, okay boxer still be a good coach, but when you look at him, like his knowledge of the sport, like for him to even just be overlooking Terrence Crawford is a red flag. He was talking about Terrence Crawford like he wasn't nothing. Like the week of the fight, like, man, who is this dude? I think that's what made it worse was Spence. Yeah, that roll worked crazy, bro. For real. I don't think a lot of guys in the NFL putting in work like that. To be honest with you, because you know most guys who play in professional sports in the off season they boxing or doing MMA. It's different kind of stamina. The stamina way different. Yeah, for her to go over there with Derrick James, she looked bad last night. She didn't have a consistent jab. Her jab to the body was great, but she wasn't following up with nothing. Then she kept dropping her lead hand. Then she was trying to counter. I'm talking about the girl. The girl really could have, man, the girl really could have beat her. All the girl had to do was throw a left hook in the right hand. That's it. I'm talking about she landed like probably two or three of those where it was possibly a knockout shot, but she wasn't throwing that much no more. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought Bumgarner had an easy chance against Serrano. After last night, I don't know. Depending on what kind of Serrano show up, Serrano might beat the brakes off her. Yeah, I don't like the way she performed last night. Dubois, to be honest with you, that Bo Racine, I forgot the Asian lady that Dubois sister fought recently, Caroline Dubois. She would beat Bumgarner right now. I'm gonna be real with y'all. The Asian girl, go back and look at her. The one who fought Dubois' sister the last fight she had, or it might have been a fight before that, because Dubois' sister been fighting a lot this year. Might have been the y'all will see the name, Bomei Sheen or something. Man, that girl got some hands. She'll beat the brakes off of Bumgarner right now. The way she looked with because I thought Bumgarner could have got a knockout last night. And if you look at that fight, the girl wasn't doing that much. She could have got a stoppage last night. The girl wasn't moving that much. She wasn't punching that much at all, too. And she was loading up. Because to be honest with you, the last fight Bumgarner had before that, it was a head clash, and they had to call the fight off. But she was fighting somebody who was good. I think she was fighting Persoon. So she fought the same kind of opponent. But then she comes out this fight. She got rocked a couple of times, and then she like, nah, I ain't gonna run up in there. Yeah, I ain't like that. I don't know if it was the punching. I feel like it was more the coaching. But I'm gonna have to go back and look when she got rocked, because later on she started to be a little more aggressive. She got rocked again with another left hook, and then she was like, nah, I don't want no parts of that. So she kind of backed off a little bit. Kind of disappointed in that performance, to be honest with you. She didn't look the same. Speed wasn't there. I feel like her hand speed was there, but consistent speed throughout the fight, like the twitchiness, it just wasn't there. It could be activity, though. You never know. It could be activity. But I will say this, and I said this last night, and it's facts. More the women fighters who came out and was doing a lot of moving and dancing when they were doing their walk in, like the entrance or whatever, they walk out. They did more moving in the walkout than they did fighting. If you go back and look at Baumgartner, bro, she was all on the ground dancing. Then she get in the ring and she just stiff. She just like she boxing like a heavyweight. I'm talking about, if you look at all the girls who did that last night, they got in the ring and just got stiff. I think Serrano was doing a lot of stuff before the fight. She was on the camera, then get in the ring and don't do nothing. She did more cutting off the ring outside the ring than she did in the ring. That's what I was disappointed with. I'm like, man, all the big name girls kind of not showing up right now. So yeah, they kind of dropped the ball a little bit. If you're gonna be a big name fighting on Netflix, you got to show up, man. It's gonna be a lot of guys that will not have a chance to fight on Netflix. Yeah, they should have showed up a lot more. Should have been blood and guts for real. Then you got girls making millions last night. What? You making millions and you going out there just touching and going. That's why Layla Ali said I need 20 M's to fight Clarissa Shields. I told y'all the price gonna go up. She would have took the 7 million. Look, this is the crazy part. The same amount of money they paid Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano, they could have gave to fight each other. They could have gave them that same amount of money. Everybody in the boxing world know. Layla Ali said, I just want. She said, I think it's like 2 million, 3 million, something, whatever millions it was. She asked at the time, and everybody like, man, she asked for a lot of money. And then you just paid what? I heard last night they paid what, 9 million for that last night? About 10 million. I'm like, man, y'all could have had Clarissa Shields and Layla Ali. That's why somebody had Layla Ali. Hey, would you fight Clarissa Shields? She said, yeah, 20 million. Yeah, it would have to be 20 million. You paying these other girls 10 million to go out there and do head clashes and touch and goes? Nah. And I'm gonna tell you what was worse about the card last night. The girls on the undercard showed out, bro. If you go back and look at the prelims look like it was all classic fights on the prelims. So really, as the fight gets closer to the main event, the fight start getting worse. Every fight that got closer to the main event was getting worse. By the time you got to the Green and Marshall fight, but the referee messed it up. Then after that, Bumgarner and then Serrano. But the referees was terrible though. I think the women showed up, but the referees was trash. I think that was the biggest effect on all the fights, on all the performances, everything. I think they should have mixed it up and had referees. But really switching out a referee every fight was kind of weird. That was something they do for like Saudi, but last night they was changing the referee every fight. Every fight. Yeah, they always look different off the pitch. Yeah, you're right. We were saying that last night, Jay, man, and the calf muscles, the arms look different. Yeah, it's a lot of people that's starting to look different. It's gonna be a lot more people looking different because they're not directly dealing with Turkey yet. But as we've seen recently, a lot of people getting drug tested out of nowhere. I don't even know when the guy Rodriguez that's with Eddie Reynoso, I don't know if he got drug tested for the first time after the fight. It could have been a situation where after the fight they could have been like, hey, but I'm hearing he got caught before the fight though, from what I'm hearing. But it could have been a situation like, hey, let's just test him right through the fight. Yeah, and she had no tone to her muscles, really. I forgot what somebody told me when she was wearing like the pink outfit she had on. She had like more tone to her. Yeah, but yeah, you could tell last night she went on. She ain't had nothing going on with her. Nothing. I don't think that was the problem though, but it was a factor. Cause I think like her hand speed was still there, but consistent twitchiness throughout the fight, it just wasn't there. And that's kind of what her style is based off of. Her reaction time, instincts. That's what make her different. But yeah, she looked regular last night. Derek James got to do something. And the girl she was fighting was a beast too. I wouldn't take that away from her. The girl she was fighting last night was a beast too. I think every girl that fought last night was a beast on both sides, A side and B side. Because to be real with you, every girl family was like, they let everybody in their family know I'm fighting on Netflix tonight. I'm definitely not getting knocked out. Like that's when it got real last night. I guess the ones that's used to fighting on TV, they weren't as excited, but the ones who aren't used to fighting, especially on Netflix, those were the fights that really, people tuned in for. Yeah, Bumgarner fight was good though. It was more action than the Serrano fight, but it was just different styles though, different matchups. But Bumgarner did show that changing trainers is not a good idea. I would not change trainers that much. With certain fighters, you can do it, but I feel like you got to have experience doing it. Because if you work with somebody for so long and then you go to another style or situation, it can be different. Yeah, she did, didn't she? She did, didn't she? I ain't know she had some power to that last round either. I didn't know she had power to that last round. I thought Cameron looked good last night. Uh, and Scottney looked good. Johnson looked good. Um, I thought all the fighters looked good though, even the ones that lost. I thought they all looked good though, cause they really not no bums like most of them. They not no bums. They like the elite of the elite. Yeah, I was kind of surprised to see most of them fighting last night. But yeah, she did look the best to me though. That's why at one point I thought Sky Nicholson was kind of on a level after her last performance, but yeah, I think a lot of those guys like Scott Nee and Chantel Cameron. I want to see Cameron fight Taylor. I thought Cameron beat Taylor. To be honest with you, I know a lot of people say Serrano got robbed, but Cameron, she dropped Katie Taylor in that fight. If y'all go back and watch that fight, she dropped her. Yeah, it was a solid night. Yeah, it was a good fight card for Friday too, bro. To be honest with you, yeah, it was a good fight card for Friday. It was. The crowd was in it. Yeah, New York be showing out. It's crazy. They said New York shouldn't have had the Haney and Garcia fight, and ever since then, New York been putting on huge fights, like the Roach and Tank. Then you had the fight card last night. Yeah, that crowd in New York showed out, man. It said women's boxing is picking up though. UFC women's UFC used to be the best for a while, starting to turn back to boxing overall. Yeah, that's why they're trying to have Amanda Serrano come back. Not Amanda Serrano, I'm tripping. Amanda Nunes. Amanda Nunes coming back. They just lost Holly Holmes. That's why Holly Holmes, man, she like, man, I'm finna benefit off this boxing. I was boxing for nothing back in the day. I'm finna get this bag. Yeah, UFC been mid, bro. Bro, everybody noticed, bro. UFC has been trash ever since they went to ever since they went to not Australia, but they went to like Japan or something, or China or something like that last year. That last card they had at the end of the year, it was like China or something. Ever since then, UFC been trash, boy. Trash. I'm talking about trash. They putting guys on the main event who not even that good. That's why John Jones like, man, I'm finna hang it up. Then a lot of fans don't really know what's going on. Like, I'm gonna tell you how clean John Jones. If people don't watch UFC or nothing, I'm gonna explain something to y'all real quick. Then I ain't gonna hang on the topic too long. But I'm gonna tell y'all how good John Jones is. John Jones is so good in UFC. When UFC first started, you actually had guys who were like specialists. You had guys who was like punchers, kickers, wrestlers, jiu-jitsu, karate guys. Now when you go into UFC, you gotta do all those things because John Jones, he started to learn how to kick, he knew how to wrestle, he started learning how to punch, jiu-jitsu, submissions. So when you see all these people learn all that stuff in UFC now, they learned all that stuff just based off of guys like John Jones coming into UFC, and you got to learn everything now. You can't go in there just learning one style. You got to learn every style. You know what I'm saying? And guys being UFC fans be like, man, why does he fight Espinal? Nobody even knows who that guy is. Nobody knows who that guy is. Trust me. So, UFC, when you got to have fans begging John Jones to fight a guy named Espinal, like, that's when you know it's over. Not Francis Ngannou. They're not saying, hey, man, let's make this Francis Ngannou fight. Let's have him fight Espinal. So, yeah, that's why he like, I'm going to hang it up. I don't know if he's retired, but the last fight he had, though, I'm going to tell y'all what he did. He did everything you can do in UFC. He did every submission attempt. He did every kick. He did every punch. He did a spinning kick, a flying kick, a back kick, spinning back elbow, spinning back fist. He did all that in one fight. He was just in there trying everything that he knows in his whole toolbox. Spinning back fist, spinning back kick, flying kick, high kick, elbow, spinning elbow. You know what I'm saying? He was doing everything all in one. Like his career was flashing before his eyes. He's like, I'm just going to do everything I know. And the people who watching this, they didn't even know what they was looking at. I'm like, UFC cooked, bro. Exactly. Like J-Man said, cooked, bro. It's cooked. It's cooked. It really is. That's why Dana White, like, yeah, man, let me go ahead and go to this boxing. Even Dana White got that picture up where he was watching Canelo versus Plant while a UFC fight was on. He was ringside at UFC watching Caleb Plant versus Canelo. So yeah, they want to do these fights worse than anybody right now. Anybody. These are the fights people want to see right now. And people know boxing is getting back to the spot it needs to get back to. The other promoters that have been working with guys like Bob Arum, you've had certain people trying to work with him, and those guys just don't work with people. They work with who they want to work with and how they want to work with them. I used to think they were just building up fights, but when it comes to promoters, they're just dealing with who they want to deal with. If it benefits them, if they can make an in-house fight without having to deal with somebody else, they're going to do it. Oh, yeah, always will. Always will. They're going to have to build it back up. It always will. It always will. I think the thing about boxing is that hurts the sport a lot. I'm telling you, it's the news a lot of times. Because every time I see somebody who's new try to come into boxing, they can never figure out what's going on. That's the thing about boxing. It's like most people who try to get into boxing these days, they can never really figure out what's going on. You probably have guys that have been watching boxing probably 7-8 years now, all the time. But they really probably don't know how good Terrence Crawford is. Because most of the time they've been hearing he ain't that good. So I think that's why boxing really been falling behind. It's just bad reporting. It's just been bad reporting all around. That's why they trying to build up the fight a couple of months before it happened. And they gonna say, man, it ain't do that many numbers. Yeah, but you can't really just erase 10 years of bad reporting or lies or something that affected somebody negatively in just a couple of months because you got a big event coming up. That ain't gonna happen. That's like me right now saying, hey man, R. Kelly finna get out of jail. Everybody need to forget about what he did. Or not what he did, but what they said he did. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, nah, people still gonna remember that. Yeah, so I think they getting away from that now. Turkey stepping in now. Before Abdullah Mason get to a certain point, let me put him on the fight card right now to let everybody know that he's official. Because, yeah, I probably do think he's young, but Teofimo started young. Most of these guys start young who's elite. But I think we just gonna get away from the point where people try to bash so early. There be a lot of bashing going on early where I just feel like too early in guys' careers they get bashed too early. You can criticize, but like Floyd Schofield last year, the only thing I criticized Floyd Schofield was him saying that Shakur somebody came to their house, stole passports out their house. Man, come on, man. I don't care how many people you knock out. I ain't finna believe none of that. And then you get sick right after that. Even if you did get sick for real, bro, that's bad karma, bro. You just talking about somebody was stealing passports out your house. So really, all of that that's your fault. You didn't go to the press conference for the fight, and you didn't fight in the fight. So it makes it seem like you never wanted to fight anyways. But that was the only criticism I had of him, because after his last fight, I had to tell everybody, hey man, it's a prospect who's fighting the main event. It ain't nothing I can really say about him because I don't know much about him. He a prospect. Everybody like, nah, he trash. I'm like, bro, he's a prospect fighting in his first main event. What am I gonna say? Then he knock out Tevin Farmer. Different story. So yeah, with young guys, you got to be patient, bro. That's all I would say. Because a lot of times they feel like, I guess, because other people do it, they got to promote themselves, or people just not talking about them a lot of times. Because there's a lot of fighters that's real good that's not getting talked about as much as they should be. But you know, we're gonna change that coming up this week. Trust me, I'm gonna switch that up this week coming up. It's been too much going on though. There's way too many big fights going on right now to where we should ignore them, especially today. Especially today. But yeah, even that card with and I want y'all to watch out for somebody too. A guy named Joseph Brown. I'm gonna go out there and say it right now. Forget it. I'm gonna say it. Joseph Brown is like a more athletic Charlo. But if y'all watch out for Joseph Brown, watch out for him next week. He a prospect. I'll probably do a show on that this week. I was supposed to do a prospect show like 7-8 months ago. But he's a prospect. He's a beast. A beast. But he's like Charlo. I think about around the same size. He might be taller. And then they got on the Pacquiao and Barrios undercard. I mean, prelims. They got the guy who looked like Tank coming up fighting next week. I told everybody. I don't know if people seen that video I did live a couple of months ago. I told everybody they're gonna try to replace Tank with old boy. The fact that Tank, man, Tank out here messing up, bro. They finna replace Tank with this dude. But the dude look just like Tank, man. If you somebody who really don't watch boxing like that, and a lot of people don't really keep up with boxing like every day, this dude look like Tank Davis. And he finna fight next week. And he's been active too. He fought on The Mayweather Gotti card. That was like in last July, August or something like that. Jersey Vargas. This dude look just like Tank, man. If you didn't know any better, you would think it was Tank. I'm talking about, man. That's why Floyd kind of like, I mean, that's why Tank kind of like, man, I'm gonna get away from this dude. I don't know if I don't know how long this guy been with Floyd, but I ain't gonna lie, bro. This nasty work right here, bro. Oh no, this dude right here, J Man, Jersey Vargas, the gorilla, the gorilla. Man, when I tell y'all this dude, bro, this dude went and got a gorilla tattooed on him recently, and I wasn't even checking for it. I was just going through. Matter of fact, I'll pull the picture up so y'all think I won't. So people won't be like, man, you out here capping, bro. Bro got a whole gorilla on his back. They finna replace Tank with a clone, man. And people might be like, man, they ain't finna do that, man. This dude ain't nobody. Bro, they just had a dude recently that called out Shakur and it went all across the internet. And people never seen that dude before. This dude might end up fighting Tank one day. They gonna try their best to align him with Tank in the ring. If Tank ain't fighting, they gonna replace him with Tank. Cause I'm gonna tell you what they gonna do. They gonna slide him in. Tank gonna hang it up, be at the crib, 34, 35, be like, man, I'm gonna hang it up. Look, he got a gorilla on his back, bro. He gonna be like, man, I'm finna hang it up. They gonna be like, hey, Jersey Vargas, go ahead and put him on the co-main event. And then some of these dudes gonna be like, man, they still got a guy that he look like Tank. Just because he look like Tank, what you think they gonna do? They gonna watch him. And facts. Thank you. Exactly, J man. And that's why we be talking like we talk. Hey man, y'all hating on Tank. We gonna show y'all who hating on Tank. Dudes who getting gorillas on their back. Dude got gorillas on his gloves. Floyd out here co-signing the gorilla. Floyd like, bro, I can make one. I can make another one. I'm gonna make two of them. Show y'all what's really going on. I can't make another Devin Haney, and that lets you know right now, Floyd didn't make no Devin Haney. But I ain't make Devin Haney, but I can make another Tank though. I'm gonna show y'all. So everybody who said, man, y'all hating on Tank, man, I ain't never did nothing like this. I wouldn't never do nothing like this. So how can I hate on Tank? I wouldn't get another guy that looked like Tank and say, put a gorilla on your back. You'll never see me do nothing. See, everybody think they know what the play is right now. They think they see what the play is. They don't know what the play is right now. They do not know what the play is. They finna replace Buddy. For him getting arrested like this, worst thing that could have happened to him. All these people that say, man, I love Tank, man, I love Tank. Bro, they can't wait to replace Tank. One of these young guys, they'll step in right now for Tank versus Lamont Roach. He said Floyd got triplets. Hey, that's crazy, ain't it? 3 of them. This dude right here look closer to Tank than Camille do. I'm talking about he look just like Tank. I seen him a couple times. I was like, he don't look like Tank. Then I kept seeing him. And I kept thinking, is that Tank? Is that Tank? And I'm like, man, hold on, bro. This is actually working. If you look at the guy from right here, you want to know if this Tank. If you see this guy right here, right? If anybody look at this picture right now, does this look like Tank from right here? If you look at this picture, if I show somebody this picture who didn't know who this was, they'll think this Tank Davis. So yeah, it's gonna be crazy because the people who said guys was hating on Tank, they gonna have to explain why the people who helped make Tank is gonna replace him with a guy that look like him and use the same kind of brand too. So they're gonna use Tank brand to build another brand. So they finna do a Kmart and Target and make a Walmart. Exactly, J man. It's a perfect plan, bro. They showing out for real. Perfect plan. The average person gonna be like, man, that's Tank. And then the crazy part is the people who don't know who Tank is, they barely just they just see him. They're gonna think that this is the guy. They're gonna be like, man, it's the guy who knocked out Ryan Garcia. You know, a lot of these kids who don't really know boxing like that, who just know names, if they really just know faces and tattoos and stuff and hairdos, they're gonna see Tank. They're gonna be like, they're gonna see Tank. They're gonna see this guy. And guess what, y'all? Tank and this dude the same size, bro. Y'all probably wouldn't even believe that. Tank and this guy's the same size, same height, same weight, same arm length, everything. Tank and this dude is the same size, bro. Wouldn't even believe it. They're the same size. And I'm gonna tell you what made me trip out about the whole thing. When I seen Buddy gloves, when I seen his gloves, and I seen his gloves had a gorilla on it, I said, "You gotta be killing me!" And his nickname is the Gorilla. Well, this is wild, bro. And his nickname is the Gorilla. That boy Floyd showing out, ain't he? Everybody like, man, you don't know nothing about Floyd, man. You always think Floyd hating on somebody. Yeah, you right, bro. I don't know what I'm talking about. I ain't say Floyd hating. I'm just saying what he doing. Still got gorilla on his gloves, and he got gorilla on his trunks. And he look like Tank. And he finna get more tattoos, and he finna be looking just like Tank. See, he ain't got no tats right there, right? He got something on his arm over there on the side. Then he got that gorilla he just put on there. Yeah. To be honest with y'all, I ain't supposed to be talking about this, to be honest with you. This is how I be getting in trouble and stuff. Everybody, appreciate everybody who hit the like button. This is how I be getting in trouble, y'all. It might not seem like something deep, but I ain't supposed to be talking about this right now. If nobody else is talking about it, I'm technically not supposed to be talking about it. He said generational. But yeah, that's the plan though. PBC finna get this rolling right now. This guy can box. He got power. I would say he's a mixture between a De Los Santos and a Tank and a Gamboa. If you had like Gamboa and Tank and De Los Santos, it'd probably be this guy. But he's like more like Tank and Gamboa size. Yeah, too much truth, bro. You already know. Appreciate you for coming through, Jay, man. I appreciate everybody for coming through. I be definitely doing these live for y'all, man. I was busy last week, so I couldn't do much. So, you know, I'm making up for missed time right now. But yeah, I just wanted to go through with a lot of topics, different things. But I'm telling y'all, check this guy out though. I didn't think at first. I said, yeah, he just looked like Tank. Then I seen the Gorilla brand and everything. But it's actually a good plan though. I will admit that. It's actually a very good plan. It's almost like the Temptations getting another lead singer. Like, hey man, if David Ruffin ain't here, get somebody else, bro. When people listen to Papa Was a Rolling Stone, they don't care if it was David Ruffin. They don't care who it is. They don't care if it was Eddie Kane from the Five Heartbeats. They just know the song Papa Was a Rolling Stone. Can nobody tell you who was the lead singer for the Temptations when that song was recorded? You know what I'm saying? We got guys right now from the Temptations who wasn't even in the original group performing right now. So yeah, they always been doing this. This been going on since the beginning. Yeah, this always goes on in every industry. In basketball, NFL, NBA, they want another Michael Jordan. Bring a Kobe in. But yeah, Tank really dropping the ball though, bro. He gotta understand that. Like him getting arrested and even dealing with the girl he dealing with. Like, bro, he supposed to have cameras all over the place anyways. Everywhere he go. Like how them the guys be live streaming all the time. He need to be doing that. Oh, I forgot about that, J Man. I know he be doing it too. He ain't got no tats yet. That's why he ain't really jump out to me like that yet. I was like, oh man. And you know, Carmelo look like Tank regardless. He don't even try to look like Tank. He just look like him. And he looked like Tank when Tank was younger. This dude look like Tank now. I'm like, man, this dude look like Tank right now. Yeah, it's a great game plan, bro. Floyd, hey, he got two of them, bro. Now, what I want to see is, I want to see if a lot of people are going to embrace it or if they're going to call Floyd a hater. You know, some people call Floyd a hater, but I want to see if actually the fans will embrace it. Because that guy going to be on a big card next week. Manny Pacquiao versus Barrios is a big card to be on. That's one of the biggest cards you could be on this year. So for him to be on that fight card, and he fighting the guy who's undefeated. Okay, he fighting somebody who got something going on. He's not completely trash. Undefeated guy. But yeah, he gonna, cause look, Abram Ramos fight what? After two more fights after he fight. So yeah, he's fighting real close on the prelim. I don't know if they're gonna show it on TV though, because they only showing the Russell, Ramos, Gomez, and Marcial on the prelim. So they might not show this guy Vargas and Brown online. They might have one of those reporters recorded and posted online. But yeah, he's still fighting on the cards though. They getting him right. He got 5 fights right now. Let's see how many times he fought last year. Hey, listen to this. The dude fought 1, 2, 3. He fought 3 times last year. And he fought 1 time this year already. And the crazy part is he started fighting more after after Floyd and Tank got into it last year. He was already gonna fight, but he been fighting a lot more since then. A lot more. I'm telling y'all, man, PBC gonna do something that's gonna be crazy, bro. If they don't have Tank, like they can really wait it out, because if they get close to where this guy got like 10, 11, 12 fights, 15 fights, he can probably do that in like 2 years. Depending on how he moves, he can get 15 fights. They gonna probably try to put him in front of Tank one day. And I'm gonna tell y'all why. If they do that, this guy will be, he'll be famous regardless, even if he lose. If I'm Floyd, I'm putting him in the ring with Tank, even if he lose. I don't think he can fight anybody else and make a huge name off of fighting them. But a guy you look just like, the storyline, I'm telling y'all, That'll be a home run fight. They put that together. It'll be a classic fight. Because it looked like Floyd trying to get guys to actually replace Tank. So the fastest way to replace him is putting him in the ring with somebody you actually got. And mind you, too, Floyd's not used to getting guys just specifically at one weight class. He getting guys who's directly at Tank weight class. And I'm pretty sure Tank has seen the guy probably around or something like that. Probably ain't got no relationship with the dude, but he's seen him around. They've been calling dude Tank clone for years. But the crazy part is, you got Fight Hype calling him brother Tank clone now. They out here calling brother Fight the Tank clone at Mayweather Gym. Bruh, Mayweather Gym being called the Tank clone. That's crazy. Shout out to Wild Man. What's up, dog? Yeah, but this is gonna be one of them fights. I'm telling you. The only thing that's good about Tank when he be talking and things be happening around him, it be so many good matchups that he involved himself with. The only bad thing about it is they usually don't happen. But I will say that Tank got a lot of good matchups, man. If he fought all the people we want to see him fight, he'll for sure be an all-time great. It wouldn't even be close. But yeah, they've been calling him the Tank clone though. Him and Tank, I would say, because the guy ain't that old. He's like Tank's what, 30 right now. This guy's 21. Man, Tank can't fight till he's 34. I would say what, in 30, at 32, 33, Tank should fight this guy. He'll be what, 24? Yeah, that's not a bad age. I think De Los Santos was 24 when he fought Shakur, so that's not a bad age. Yeah, I think around 24 he should fight Tank. That'd be a good matchup. That'd be kind of like Tank's Canelo situation, like how Floyd fought Canelo or something like that. Yeah, he better not let these good matchups get away, man, because this guy gonna fight somebody else. If he don't, are you planning on fishing? All right, if you do that, I'm gonna tune in for your live, man. Yeah, if you go fish, I'm gonna tune in. But yeah, this the perfect plan though. See, PBC, they 10 steps ahead, man. They already thinking of stuff they can do without involving anybody else. This is a matchup where Turkey Al-Sheikh probably not even thinking about right now. He don't know about this guy. He's not thinking about no Floyd versus Tank or Floyd trying to get a replacement. This is something PBC gonna be like, hey man, you know what? We can kind of talk Tank into doing this fight. I think they could. They talked him into fighting Roach. They talked him into fighting Frank Martin. A lot of other matchups we didn't think that was gonna happen. So this guy, he's not far off the radar. And I think Tank would have more motivation anyways, because that would be the only way he can actually beat Floyd right now is by getting one of his fighters. He's already went at Camille Moulton already last year. They had some back and forth with him. Oh yeah, man. Yeah. I'm definitely gonna tune in. You go live later on. But yeah, I like where boxing going right now though. We need some guys like Tank, man. Tank like a Dennis Rodman or something like that. You never know what you'll get with him. And it's gonna be stuff that keeps you tuned in all the time. To be honest with you, I don't want to think too hard, but before the internet like really got popping, I'll probably say Dennis Rodman was like a guy who's going viral for just anything. You know what I'm saying? And Tank is like one of those guys in boxing. Cause he don't really look for attention like that, but he got that star power, man. It's always something. Easy to draw people in. And with a fight like this on his resume, it'll be good. It'll be something I never seen before. I never seen a promoter get a guy who looked just like somebody else and got similar styles. Guy can knock people out. He can crack. Nobody seen the guy. He can crack, bro. Yeah, PBC still in their own lane, J man. That's why I'm kind of like, I'm not gonna really say they're just completely done, or because their domestic fights are still going to be something that's a little more different than what everybody else gonna do as far as top rank. Because even PBC still reaching out to Roach, that means something. That means something because a lot of these people still gonna do fights without that situation just completely involved. It ain't just gonna be that situation and that's it. From what I've seen, I don't think Turkey gonna do every fight. It's always gonna be somebody in boxing that's gonna come along and do their own fights. But yeah, PBC still gonna have certain fights where they're putting together without them because Tank is currently doing that right now. Yeah, I think he's just currently doing it. I think it looked like most of these guys just waiting their turn though. And things gotta line up the right way. Everybody gotta be healthy. A lot of people already said they was fighting hurt, injured. But yeah, if you look at earlier this year, PBC had already did the Benavidez and Morrell. What else they did? They did the Tank and Roach. That was like within a couple of weeks. Then the undercards was amazing. So yeah, they starting to step it up a little bit more. I think the apps is what slowed boxing down for a minute. The apps, and then the pandemic. Yeah, we still got people switching apps right now. You got Top Rank about to leave ESPN, so I think once they get all that settled, everything will be good. Because if Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence would have waited another year, they would have probably been fighting on the Amazon Prime instead of Showtime. And I don't think Showtime did a good job building up that fight either. To be honest with you. Yeah, I don't think they did a good job building up that fight. Because when you look at it after that, you can make an argument that they did the Canelo Charlo fight a little bit better. And that was on late notice because they had to push that date back because of UFC. Turkey showing the arena for the fight coming on tonight. They got a fight in Queens, New York tonight. That's crazy. Devin Haney on there talking trash, boy. Devin Haney in there talking trash. That boy was hot last night. Y'all saw that press conference yesterday? He told Brian Norman, I done fought guys on this level for a long time. I've been on this level for a long time. And he right though. I can't even lie. Bro, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. I do not know who I'm gonna pick as far as Haney and Norman. It's a very hard pick, man. Cause I don't think a lot of people think Devin Haney chinny. I don't think bro chinny like that. The way people talking, nah, I don't think he's chinny. I definitely don't think that. I found that out after the Ryan Garcia fight. Yeah, that's why I'm like, man. I don't know if I'm gonna pick somebody for this one. And I usually don't do that. But this one right here, haven't felt like this since the Benavidez and Andre fight. I told everybody then, they was like, man, Benavidez. I'm like, bro, I know y'all saying he got slow feet or whatever, but bro, he never had a problem cutting that ring off. I think with Norman, only thing I have a problem with is, what would I say? With him being in the ring with Devin, will he see a lot of things for the first time? Like, do he got enough experience? Because I think he's smarter than what people give him credit for. But I don't know if him knocking out Haney is something I'm thinking about as far as the fight going. Because the way I look at Devin Haney, if he get cracked with a shot from Brian Norman, he getting up. Like, that's real talk. I know Jen Suzuki got knocked out, but Devin Haney getting up, though. That's the only thing I'm kind of saying. I'm like, yeah, he probably couldn't knock him down a couple times when he win the fight, though. So I'm kind of leaning both ways, really, to be honest with you. Yeah, bro. This fight between Haney and Norman might be so good, it might be a trilogy. Just because of the build-up, how everything's going right now. It's a lot of hype around this fight right now. Even with Berlanga and everybody fighting this weekend, it's a huge weekend for boxing. And for Norman and Haney to kind of not overshadow that, but for that hype to be on the same level as this Serrano fight and then the Berlanga and Shakur fight tonight. Yeah, man, Haney that guy right now. I told everybody, if Tank don't, I put out a video probably 2023. I said, if Tank don't do nothing in 2024 to move the needle, by 2025, Devin Haney will be the face of boxing over Tank Davis. And he is. But I feel like Benavidez is on that same kind of level, but the only thing holding Benavidez back is Benavidez has a guy like Canelo that's his rival. So a lot of people who's fans of Canelo, their negativity towards Benavidez, bro, I've seen it, bro. Like last year, I thought Haney, I was like, man, Haney, they going at Haney hard about this Ryan Garcia stuff. But at the same time, they were saying stuff about Benavidez weight and how he looked in the fight. It was breaking all kind of stuff down. I'm like, I don't know, bro. It's kind of crazy the backlash Haney gets, but Benavidez backlash is like kind of up there too, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. That man gets a lot of backlash. Yeah, Ali Frazier was a classic trilogy. Yeah, the second and third, that second one was, that's the one I remember the most, that second one. Yeah, his heart not in it. I think Tank not fighting 3 or 4 times a year has really hurt his career. I think he needs to be a guy that needs to be active a lot of times. Him sitting at the house for 6 months arguing with some girl ain't finna help his career. He needs to be training full time. He needs to be a full-time boxer, bro. He needs to be in the gym like the rest of these guys all day. That's it. Gym, home, going out to fights or whatever, chilling, but nah, man. Being off the radar like that for a long time, then he in his prime, it's not good. I think all around they dropping the ball on it though, because I'm gonna tell you why they're dropping the ball on Tank. They're dropping the ball on Tank because I feel like he's getting a lot. He's gotten too much. He's gotten too much praise for what he's done. I can make a case that Earl Spence probably has done the same stuff that Tank Davis has done. I know he's done the 1.2 with Ryan Garcia, but I think he's gotten too much praise though. At this time right now, Tank Davis probably getting more praise than Roy Jones Jr. Now we all done seen Roy Jones coming up fighting and everything. He's probably getting more praise right now than the Roy Jones Jr. That's the thing I think that hurts guys like Tank. And people think it's hating when you don't want to praise guys. No, I don't want to destroy him. By me praising him or overhyping him, that's not going to help him. You know, a lot of people saying Tank got a lot of potential and stuff, but potential only gets you so far, especially when you boxing. You got to show up, man. And I think he still is, you know, he's listening to everybody around him as far as the game plan. Which is fine. You know, business is business, but you're getting left behind though. I'm not finna be the face of boxing. I have everybody else fighting 3 or 4 times a year. Everybody fighting on turkey cards, and guys and on Netflix. Yeah, exactly, J man. It's done way more for the sport. Way more. Way more. I can name a million boxers that Earl Spence has done more than in the sport of boxing. The man came out of car wreck and still fought the best. We got people talking about some, yeah, man. I'm telling y'all, when Tank fought Frank Martin, I knew it was over then because he went in jail that long, and then he took almost 12 months to get back in the ring with Frank Martin. Like, bro, you acting like you was in jail for 50 years. Like, when Michael Vick got out of jail, he went straight to the NFL. Michael Vick did 2 years in jail. Hard time. He was in one of the worst prisons ever, especially in the Fed time. And he got straight out of the prison and went straight into the NFL. The man hadn't played no football or nothing for 2 years. This man Tank was in jail for like 2 weeks. And they like, yeah, man, he need to get himself back together. Get back together. Yeah, Roy Jones is untouchable in his prime. Untouchable. Untouchable. That's why Floyd's saying something about Roy Jones right now. Hey, man, I don't know. If me and Floyd walking down the street, I don't know if he can beat up Roy Jones or Roy Jones coming down the street right now. In the boxing ring, yeah. In the street, I don't know. But yeah, a lot of these guys don't know it, but everything they do is because of Roy Jones. Yeah, they wasn't having that, John. Yeah, Mike Vick got straight out of prison, bro. The man, grandma died and everything while he was in prison. Man got straight out of prison, went straight to the NFL. He had to basically get back in shape while practicing. Trying to make the team, this man getting in shape. Y'all got to realize that Michael Vick, Donovan McNabb went to the championship, the NFC championship like 4 or 5 times. So Michael Vick comes in, ain't played football in 2 years. He out of shape. He can't run 10 yards without getting tired. And the man was like, man, you know what? I'm finna try to get in shape while I'm trying to make the team. Made the team, still trying to get in shape. So the whole year he getting in shape. Everybody like, oh, man, it look like the old Vic. This man was out a couple of weeks, and he can't get back in the ring to fight 2 or 3 times a year. I think right now what's hurting boxing the most is a lot of these TV schedules and boxing schedules. It's not helping the fighters. It's like hurting the fighters. It's good for business, but it's hurting the product. Tank fighting 1 or 2 times a year. It's probably good because you can build it up, try to get the most money you can. But when I was growing up, guys like Roy Jones Jr. ain't have to fight a big name every fight. It didn't have to be a Holyfield or Bernard Hopkins every fight. You can fight guys who are top 20, top 30. Sometimes fans just want to see you fight. Nobody has no problem with Tank fighting 4 times a year. But they trying to hit home runs every time and try to get 1.2 million pay-per-views. Like if you fight more, you'll have people know you more because Tank name got big off of the small fights that wasn't on pay-per-view. And then once he was able to build his name up, that's when you seen him start to get pay-per-view fights. But every fight ain't pay-per-view though. I think Turkey's starting to prove that now. Like Turkey, like, oh, let's put on a real fight that's pay-per-view. See, Turkey got all that money. Let me tell y'all something else too. Turkey got all that money, but when Turkey's a billionaire, but when he thinks about money, he's like, I'm not finna pay $60 to see Canelo and then watch Barrios and Maidana fight, and that's it. Turkey like, nah, I want to see Benavidez and Yard, Haney and Norman, Bam Rodriguez, Martinez, Abdullah Mason, and Sam Noakes. You know, it's going to be like 3 or 4 more guys on the card. And this guy's a billionaire. Why is the billionaire being more cheap than the guys who's been in America watching us struggle? Struggle to buy fights and everything else. You got other countries that don't even buy fights. So they really struggling. So we're struggling to buy these fights, and they're like, yeah, let's go out, put 2 good fights on this card and then make them wait till next year. Nah, bro, we ain't finna do that. That's where the format that PBC does like that, I don't like it. I don't like when PBC does it. I don't like when Top Rank does it. I don't like when Matchroom does it. Because it's building up fights and it gets away from a lot of things in boxing. That's why right now, Turkey looking like, man, if Terrence Crawford would have been like 33, 34, we would have had some classic fights. We would have had Jerron Ennis. We could have had a trilogy with somebody or something. I only think Terrence Crawford got a trilogy. Ain't nobody good enough to have a trilogy with him, but that shows how good he is, to be honest with you. Yeah, Prime Roy was a beast. But I'm telling you, though, they're getting away from building up the fights, though. They're getting away from building up the fights. They're getting away from guys not wanting to fight a certain amount of times a year. Yeah, they're getting away from a lot of that stuff. Because you got to think about it. Turkey only putting a few fights together, really. And he has some of these guys fighting twice a year just on his cards. So I'm looking at these other promoters like, bro, what are y'all doing? That's why people saying, man, Dana White ain't good. He's not perfect. He's not my choice that I would pick. But trust me, he's not worse than what we already got. I can promise you that. What we have right now, yeah, man, I'm glad John said that. I was just finna say that. Look at Charlo and Plant. Still building up that fight. Yeah, they gotta get it back to a good product, man. A lot of people don't trust the product no more. A lot of times now, that's why a lot of kids watch highlights now. Because they don't have the attention span to sit there and watch a 30-minute fight to find out if it's gonna be trash or not. They're not finna do it. They'll just watch one or 2 fights, a person they know, and that's it. But they gotta start loading these cards up though. And it's really their fault. They put on certain fights where the fans don't trust them. When I was growing up, whatever fight was on TV was a good fight. I'm just being real. If you was fighting on TV, that means this is the best fight we can possibly find in boxing right now to put on television. Now we're just putting guys on TV because they boxing. I ain't saying not to. I'm just saying, like, you got to think of how things is changing now. Yeah, pay-per-view is crazy too, man. We can't be paying that much for certain fights that we ain't getting. That's why Turkey messing up the market a little bit. I like what Turkey's doing only because it's different from what's been going on, and it's gonna change the market as far as what they're trying to force guys to pay. Because at first they were saying just pay for the app. Then they were saying pay for the app, and then you got to pay for the pay-per-view as well. Then they saying, well, you can't separate the two. You got to get the app and the you got to do the monthly. You know, all that stuff coming in play, bro. People ain't got time for that. And to be honest with you, most people who watch sports wouldn't go through all that to watch any other sport. When the Olympics come on, people ain't really going through all this stuff to try to watch the Olympics. I remember when they had the Olympics on Peacock. I think that was last year. Everybody wasn't going through the Peacock app trying to figure out how to watch Olympic boxing and everything. If it's on, if they can catch it, they'll catch it. If they can't, it's just like it is what it is. Because don't nobody trust the Olympics right now in boxing. And right now, boxing is it was kind of getting like the Olympics. Nobody really was starting to trust it. And you got too many fights they're trying to build up. There's no way Caleb Plant and Charlo should be a fight they're building up. That's the only reason why I disagree on things that PBC do. Why are you building up Caleb Plant versus Charlo? Just make the fight happen. That fight should have been made ASAP. Matter of fact, that fight should have been on the card with Benavidez and Andre. Yeah, Earl Spence say that he saved that fight. Never got the Keith Thurman matchups. Never. They had Keith Thurman fight Danny Garcia and Sean Porter, and they was like, yeah, that's it. Then they did the Pacquiao fight though. But I do know the pandemic slowed a lot of things down. I think that hurt PBC a lot because wasn't really many fights going on between there. Then they tried to build up the fight after holding it off for so long. Then had Ugas get the belt from Pacquiao. You know, all that stuff was going on. To be honest with you, they spent too much time worrying about Pacquiao. PBC making room for Pacquiao. I'm not mad, but it seemed like every time they making room for Pacquiao at the wrong time. But I will say a lot of fights that happened last year that was supposed to happen just didn't happen because of a lot of stuff that went on. Even this year, they was trying to have I think Jerron Ennis fight. They was talking about Jerron Ennis fighting Conor Benn. Then it went from Conor Benn to Virgil Ortiz. And they was talking about that last year. So yeah, it been so many fights they've been talking about. At one point, they was trying to have Adrian Broner fight Conor Benn. They said Conor Benn couldn't fight Adrian Broner because, well, he said this. He said Adrian Broner couldn't make weight, so he couldn't fight him. He made weight against Blair Cobbs. Yeah, man, it's crazy out here though. But yeah, I like the way that boxing going right now, man. To be honest with you, because last night was a lot better than what we've been getting in the past. It's been a whole lot better. Yeah, the women last night showed out. They definitely did. But I'm telling you right now, when Shields fighting 2 weeks, no way they're gonna be able to hold a counter to that. But everybody talking about that referee last night with in the Green fight, man. That dude was terrible last night, bro. That dude was terrible. Yeah, Shakur got to knock Zepeda out tonight though, man. Shakur got to knock Zepeda out, man. They get into it the weigh in and everything. Oh, Savannah Marshall was crying about the loss last night. I ain't know about that. Clarissa Shields said Savannah Marshall was crying about the loss last night. That's why she got booed. She got booed last night. Dang, man. I used to watch it on the computer, but I just watch it on TV now. Dang, she got booed last night. That's crazy. She thought she won. You definitely didn't win. I don't know who made you that promise. They must have told her. They must have told her, nah. Who did Jay Paul said that could beat Carissa Shields? Yeah, Shadasia Green. The best fight was Green versus Marshall. Carissa Shields said, after tonight, I can absolutely agree. I am the GOAT. Nobody that fought tonight can beat me in a fight at no weight class. uh, and then I'm gonna tell y'all what Marshall said last night because I know how to read lips good. She gonna sit up here talking about some tell Green she the best fighter she ever fought. Which I ain't mad at that. Hey, Green went to the future last night. She really was boxing well last night, but yeah, it don't prolong fights at all. That's what I like about Haney. They can't say that about Norman no more either. About how he don't want to take no fights. If anybody say that, they hate him. I'm gonna tell you that right now, because nobody else wanted to step up and fight Devin. They always calling him out, but when it's time to make a fight, nowhere to be seen. And ain't nobody gonna convince me that Teofimo Lopez is more dangerous right now than Brian Norman Jr. And Teofimo Lopez ducked Brian Norman Jr. I said that last year. I'm like, man, y'all gonna let Teofimo duck Brian Norman Jr.? Man, he ain't nobody. I'm like, all right. Yeah, she want that smoke, man. She want that smoke. That fight might happen, dog. They gotta pay up though, man. These dudes. If Layla Ali fought Christian Shields, everybody watching that. That should have been the fight last night. Layla Ali basically told these people, if y'all pay up the money, I'll fight Carissa Shields. I told everybody that recently. I put out the news, man. They already been talking about this stuff. It's already been talks about this before plenty of times. For them to give Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor all that money and not try to pay Carissa Shields and Layla Ali, that's crazy. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Layla Ali, I didn't know how famous she was because of her dad. I know Muhammad Ali is famous, but she's so famous. She got her own, like, I know she got her own career, but she's really like more famous than I realized. Like, she's that famous, bro. And she's a real boxer. She's not somebody who just boxing because her dad got a name in the sport. She's a real boxer, man. I'm telling y'all that right now. She is a real deal boxer. I watch boxing all the time. Layla Ali is a real boxer. A real deal boxer. Like to the point, she's such a good boxer that a lot of girls that's elite right now, she's already fought. So she already knows who she can match up with. Like if she would have fought Marshall last night, Layla Ali possibly would have beat the brakes off of Marshall last night. Possibly. So she's really that good. So yeah, they gotta pay up, man. That's a good fight that can happen. But I don't know. Gotta see what kind of direction they going to. But it's good they had Layla Ali actually part of the broadcast team last night. So that shows they're trying to go in somewhat of a direction with that situation. But Clarissa Shields just reacted to it though. She said, because Layla Ali said, man, I want $20 million to fight Clarissa Shields. And the only reason she's saying that is because her original price was like $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, something like that. And Serrano them got like $7-8 million their last fight. And then the fight they had last night, I think both of them combined got like 10 million or something. So that's why Layla Ali's like, yeah, y'all got 20 million. For that fight, y'all just paid 10 million. So yeah, they basically got what Layla Ali asked to fight Clarissa Shields. They didn't want that much money. So I hope that boxing actually puts that together eventually, because most women in Layla Ali's position would not even try to fight a Clarissa Shields. And that's the biggest women's fight you can make for the next 30 years. For the next 30 years, the biggest fight right now in women's boxing will be Layla Ali versus Clarissa Shields. These people telling you right now they ain't got they got what, 15 million for Serrano versus Taylor, but they ain't got 20 for Layla Ali. They stopped that. That's the only thing right now that kind of disappointed me. Is like I'm more disappointed about that fight than I am about Joshua versus anybody. I think that's more disappointing than anything, because those two actually want to fight. It's not a situation where you got to convince somebody to get in the ring. They actually want to fight each other. So yeah, I think boxing going in the perfect direction right now. We're starting to find out who's really about it. This is not a good time to be missing weight. This is not a good time to be losing belts. Because I'm going to be honest with y'all. It's not going to be easy for Keyshawn Davis to get another belt again. Like we finna find out how hard it is for Andy Cruz to get a belt at 135. And guys like Keyshawn gonna find out it's hard to get a belt again. Like it's not like it was 10 years ago where you could just drop a belt and then, you go to the next weight class, you're gonna have a belt right there for you. It's not gonna happen. And I heard that Keyshawn is coming back in like September or something, so could be October. Yeah, I think what happened, J-Man, Turkey was actually supposed to have a meeting with, I gotta put some of these videos out. I'll just be talking sometime, but I gotta put these videos out because I don't be having no time. But Turkey was actually supposed to meet with Clarissa Shields when they had the Bivol versus Bitterbill fight. I think it was either that or the Ring magazine, but I think it was the Bitterbill fight, the one in February. But she had something else going on, so she didn't go. So she never met with him, but he was trying to put some fight together. They was talking about Clarissa Shields fighting in Africa, talking about her fighting in Africa, fighting Layla Ali. Matter of fact, a month after I had said something about her fighting Layla Ali, her manager came out, promoter, Dimitri Salita, he came out and said they trying to make the Layla Ali fight. So yeah, that'd be a good fight to make, man. They trying to make that Layla Ali fight happen ASAP. But these people got to pay up, man. But I think Turkey That's why I said Turkey. He got so many responsibilities as far as fights right now. Because they just slid Tyson Fury back into the picture. Basically, like, yeah, Turkey, worry about Tyson Fury again. So I don't know if he's gonna be able to even get around to that fight. I don't know what fights they'll actually make next year. I usually have an idea, but right now I'm like, I have no idea what they'll do. I don't know what Canelo would do, because if he gets stopped by Crawford, I think he'll probably hang it up. But if he gets paid a lot of money, though, he might not hang it up. If Turkey, like, man, we got 2 more fights, 150 million. Because what I'm hearing right now, he's getting like 300 million for 4 fights or something like that. It could be more at the end, but I'm hearing he getting 300 million for 4 fights. So that's like 75 million a fight, which is crazy. He almost getting $100 million a fight. People will say that's only 75 million. But in 30 minutes, it's a lot of bread. That's definitely a lot of bread. But yeah, Layla Ali and Shield, that fight still bubbling, bro. Like I told people, that's a real conversation. And what I love about Clarissa Shields and Layla Ali, they both spoke on the fight in the last 24 hours. Because I was almost giving up hope. I'm like, man, they ain't even mentioning the fight no more. Because, you know, if I bring up the fight, it looks like clickbait. But I'm glad they brought that up, because after what I seen last night, man, ain't no way they supposed to get paid that much to do that. She said 12, 15, 20 million to fight little on me. Steve Kim said, oh, Steve Kim said that? Oh, man. Hold on. I ain't supposed to be on here this too long. Steve Kim said this before? Who said this? I didn't know that. Kristen Shields, she was reacting to Layla Ali saying she want 20 million to fight her. She said 15 to 20 million to fight little old me. I'm honored. This dude posting the bottom, heaven help women's boxing. If Clarissa Shields is his leader, she's annoying and turns people off. Bro, I don't. The Thomas Swell, whatever that name is, of boxing. So this guy sitting up here talking about she turns people off and she's annoying. Bro, am I tripping, or is this a man upset that a female boxer is annoying and she turns people off? I never thought another guy would be upset about that in boxing. Like, you're watching the sport of boxing when people get punched, and you worrying about a female boxer being annoying and turning people off. We gotta get some better reporters in the sport of boxing. And this guy right here said, a wise man said, we gotta get some better men in boxing, bro. The men out here in boxing, bro, are pathetic. And they let these dudes just walk around talk like this. Dudes that they never did nothing. Nothing. Not even played sports in high school. This is what guys who don't play sports in high school say, though. Oh, she's annoying. She turned people off. What about the sport? Man, I don't know nothing about that. Yeah, the reporting is bad right now, bro. It's so bad. It makes me look like the bad guy, too. I got to take all the arrows, man. They trying to do me like Leonidas or something. Because from what I'm seeing, people don't even want to speak on something. If I say one thing about PEDs, they start fooling with my channel. Everybody else say a couple of things about it. They cool, but they be coming after me. Like, they need to relax on me a little bit. Because at the end of the day, bro, it's gonna get reported regardless. Like, the reporting they're doing right now is terrible, bro. Like, even on the fights that happened last night, the commentating was bad. And the bad part is, you know, I gotta be the person that say it because it's a lot of people that's not gonna say it. And sometimes I'm gonna be looked at as a person that's on the negative side, but not really. Not really. If you look at the way I talk about boxing, it's not negative. It's just factual. It's a lot of facts that might be negative, but it's not negative though. It's boxing. Ain't nothing positive about getting punched in the face and bleeding to death. And there's too many nice things you can say about a sport where that's going on. But it is entertainment though. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Carpenter, bro. I seen that last week, J Man. I was like, no, actually this week when he was saying some stuff about Shakur. I'm like, this dude talking about him in his face. He's talking about him in his face. I think a lot of times, and I seen Turkey do this. These guys is catering to the casuals, bro. Like, and I don't even think that it's not even the casuals. It's like this is stuff they actually want to say. This is stuff they actually want to say. I think when Mike Carpenter wants to say something nice about Shakur, he's stuttering and then when he's want to say something disrespectful about him, he's up there, hey, bro, he going in on Shakur. That's why I was like, he's not nervous. He just can't find nothing good to say about him. I thought he was nervous. I'm like, oh, he's just nervous. Nah, he just can't find nothing good to say about him. He's like, bro, I don't want to say anything good about him. Let me not get up here and say he's one of the best of all time or something. I don't want to say nothing like that. So Mike Carpenter, he takes his time talking because he don't want to sit up here and say Shakur is one of the best. And yeah, he just want to play that fine line. A lot of these reporters are fans, though. Just got to keep it a buck. A lot of these dudes is fans. That's why I don't really respect them like that, because once I seen that they look at fighters like a fan looks at a fighter, I'm like, okay, not even a diehard fan. Like, it's a difference between the person who watches boxing for years and we talking about somebody who just started watching boxing yesterday. These guys, they look at boxing like these guys do. So that's why a lot of times boxing can't grow past a fan who doesn't know boxing except for like 2 weeks or something. So I think Turkey is trying to get away from that, but he's getting reporters and everything else that they cater to that kind of news. And it's been going on a long time. I really don't like the reporters he got, to be honest with you. None of them. Because most of these guys are the reason why don't nobody know who Terrence Crawford is. Like, for you to be a reporter in boxing, have you been reporting in boxing for the last 10 or 15 years? And you're one of the reasons why people think Terrence Crawford sucks, or you're one of the reasons why all of these followers you have don't know about Terrence Crawford, you're part of the problem. So I don't like that he got a lot of those reporters, but, you know, I'm not finna stop no man from eating. If a dude got to feed his family, it is what it is. But these dudes is fans, though. That's why I go so hard with the Wilder thing. It's not, it ain't because I'm black or I'm American or nothing like that. Y'all are biased, bro. It's to a point now where y'all destroying the sport. I'm gonna tell you right now, with Deontay Wilder, if you take Deontay Wilder and Usyk name away from boxing right now, as far as heavyweight boxing, it ain't nothing going on in heavyweight boxing right now. Nothing. Yeah, Kendrick had to do it. Facts. Facts, J man. It ain't nothing going on in boxing. At heavyweights, ain't none. So really, a lot of these guys want responsibility, but they ain't ready to jump in the ring, though. And I said that about Tank. Tank want the responsibility, but he can't handle it though. He just can't. Good fighter, you know. He has but certain people just can't handle it. Tyson Fury retiring in a pickup truck. If he lose again, what he gonna do? Retire in another pickup truck? They trying to put boxing on these guys' shoulders. Guys who's fighting once a year, guys who retiring multiple times after they lose or have a bad situation. I'm finna hang it up. That's not good, man. What if Tyson Fury if he lose again, he gonna retire? That's why I said as soon as we get away from stuff like that, it'll be a lot better out here, because that bad behavior is why a lot of these fighters now, people like, man, I don't like this fighter, I don't like that. But he's acting just like the other guy. People can say stuff about guys missing weight, but Ryan Garcia did it. You can say stuff about Tank getting arrested, but Ryan Garcia got arrested. That's why when Tank was up there laughing at Ryan last year, I'm like, bruh, you're not Ryan Garcia, bro. They call them Negro wake-up calls, but Keyshawn got one. You're not Ryan Garcia, bro. Ryan Garcia can miss weight and get a pass. You ain't getting no pass. ESPN dragged you around like a Looney Tune. So Keyshawn thought he was on Ryan Garcia level. Nah. They'll never let you be on Ryan Garcia's level. Tank Davis thought he was on Ryan Garcia level. Ryan Garcia got arrested after he beat Devin Haney in that no contest. And it didn't go all viral like how Tank's going viral right now. They say that Ryan Garcia has more followers and more fans, and the reason why him and Tank sold 1.2 million was because of him. But when he gets arrested, it's nowhere to be found. When Tank gets arrested, it's all over the place, and they over there. So Tank and all the fans that's fans of Tank and all these guys who don't like Devin Haney, Keyshawn and everybody else, y'all did the same thing Ryan Garcia did, and I don't hear none of y'all screaming out racism. So y'all just gonna take it on the chin like a man, huh? I can respect that, but just know you ain't Ryan Garcia. These guys can be undisputed, undefeated. They'll never be Ryan Garcia. Still didn't say he was wrong for the feds, John. Then you got people walking around talking about yeah, he looked different. Bro, it's a spit. I'm gonna tell y'all for real. As a content creator who does boxing, especially before the Ryan Garcia situation, it is a spit in the face to hear people just go past that Ryan Garcia situation like that. These people literally, if it wasn't for Turkey Al-Sheikh, they would have destroyed boxing. A lot of people don't watch boxing right now because of that one situation. That's why when he finally lost, a lot of people didn't even care that he lost. A lot of people don't know he lost because they stopped watching boxing after that. A lot of people lost money because Ryan Garcia cheated. They don't watch boxing. They bet some big money too. So Ryan Garcia affected a lot of stuff that was going on, and yeah, they really messed a lot of things up by jumping in the way for him, as the fighters included. And I'm gonna be real with y'all. I ain't gonna say no names out loud, but I know who they are. A lot of guys that was kikiing with Ryan, I don't trust them. We said one dude named earlier who a prospect. I don't trust him. Bro was in the comment section kikiing about them PEDs. I don't trust him. And he bigger than dudes who already been boxing. Yeah, bro. Yeah, you definitely yeah, guys better relax on that. But all the boxers who were laughing about the stuff saying PEDs don't matter, it's a slap in the face, bro. You got to be honest about it. If you're a fan, right, who's spent years and years of your money supporting boxing, even turning it on and watching it on ESPN when it came on. Most people didn't even turn it on ESPN to watch it. So even if you watch boxing on ESPN when it came on, you didn't have to pay no money. You still did more than 99% of the people who watch boxing or keep up with the sport. So to have guys that you support to even have that platform that they can come to have them sit up there and support that kind of stuff as a fan, I can't trust that fighter no more. Exactly. So to cut out the investigation, I'm not even going to investigate. I just don't trust them. And I heard a lot of guys get quiet when Turkey started throwing out names. Turkey like, hey, anybody want to fight Haney or this guy, that guy? Oh, give me a couple of months. A couple of months for what? That's like somebody coming to you right now like, hey, man, you want a job? Man, give me a couple of weeks. I'll be all right. You know you ain't finna pass no drug test. Turkey coming to dudes with millions of dollars. Guys who ain't never made millions. Turkey coming to guys with millions of dollars like, hey, y'all want to fight so-and-so? Man, give me a couple of weeks. Give me a couple of months. So when I seen that, I was like, bro, these dudes don't even understand, man. They don't even understand what they did. And a lot of people not going to say it out loud, but a lot of fans don't trust these guys now. That's why when you see fans now talking about certain fighters, like, hey, is he on the juice? Is he on this? Matter of fact, after Ryan Garcia got caught, they was mentioning, well, I ain't gonna say no names, but they was asking this one guy, like the day after Ryan got caught, was he on something or saying he was? Yeah, blowing opportunities, only in boxing. Nobody else would do that. You got guys that made $100 million in NBA. If you call them right now and be like, hey man, I got a 10-day contract for $50,000. You want it? They're gonna be like, I'm on the way. Because they know that $50,000 contract can lead to millions of dollars. These dudes turning down millions. So yeah, you gotta be dirty. You gotta be dirty. That's why I said Turkey's gonna end up exposing a lot of guys. I don't know if anybody heard the live I did a couple of days ago, but I'll explain why. As far as the PEDs, the first fighter to get caught with PEDs was a guy that was fighting a Saudi Arabian guy. I don't know if y'all remember, it was a Saudi Arabian fighter that Turkey had fighting on the undercard of Crawford versus Madramal. It was the first fight. And that guy ended up testing positive for PEDs. So he was the first guy. So when people say, man, Turkey don't care about PEDs, bro, Turkey definitely cares about PEDs. He is on a hunt for PEDs right now. That little situation right there showed him up close and personal what the PED situation was. And the guy had to fight the guy who was on PEDs. So that let me know right then, oh, Turkey not no overseer of that situation as far as when the results gonna come back. He don't got that much power. So even one of his own fighters got cheated. So the first guy that got cheated on Riyadh season as far as PEDs was a Saudi Arabian fighter. So the fact that happened, I think everybody needs to be on high alert right now. Because I don't know for sure who's dirty. I can't walk around just look at a guy and be like, hey man, I think you're dirty. I don't do stuff like that. But what I will say is it's gonna be a lot more. If Munguia is dirty, oh my God. if Munguia is dirty, you gotta imagine that. Imagine how many people you would have thought that was dirty before Jaime Munguia, and that will actually scare you. That would actually scare you. You gotta actually sit back and think, hey man, how many guys would I say that was on PEDs before Jaime Munguia? He ain't cracking like that. And to be honest with you, and what people gonna overlook as far as the Jaime Munguia situation is, Jaime wasn't cracking in his last fight like that when he fought the guy. When he was on PEDs, he wasn't cracking like that. I hear a lot of people say, yeah, he ain't never took it before. He wasn't cracking like that. You said he did? Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you, Jay, man. I'm glad you said that because I might watch that as soon as I get off of here. Because you know why? That guy you talking about, he got knocked out by Elijah Garcia. That guy, he got knocked out by. He looked like yeah, he lost to Elijah Garcia. He got stopped too, like the 8th round. This was 2 years ago. The only thing I will say, Jay, man, about that is, yeah, I gotta go back and look though. I can't even disagree with that because I didn't pay attention to I was watching the fight, but I don't think I was live for that fight. Yeah, I don't think I was live for that fight. I watched that fight though. Yeah, I'm gonna go back and look at it because the guy who fought your five, bro, he looked like a Super Saiyan. He looked like he was in Dragon Ball Z. If y'all ever seen Dragon Ball Z, bro was literally running around the ring like that. His face was bleeding like he just got out of the ER. And he was running around just, bro, he looked crazy. That dude fought your five looked crazy. Whatever he was on, dude got like 6 losses. Man, he was running around the ring. I'm telling you, bro. This guy was running around the ring like he was Inouye, Bam, Benavidez all in one with 6 losses. Them PEDs is no joke, man. Yeah, it probably got looked past. You're right about that because somebody said recently they weren't doing no testing for the fight. You remember when Benavidez was saying that they wasn't gonna test for it? Not that they wasn't gonna test, but they wasn't. A lot of these fights happening so fast now, and this is where Vada gonna end up messing up at. They're not gonna mess up all the way because they're doing a good job so far, but this is where they're gonna have to start hiring more people because the fights is happening more right now, and you got to make sure you go into each spot and testing these guys. Because right now they putting fights together with like 6 weeks left, sometimes 5 weeks. Then you got Tank and Rope situation going on right now. You said Berlanga coming out to I Will Survive. Berlanga survived Canelo. He officially Adam crazy. I want to see what he do tonight though. I'm gonna tell you right now, I got Berlanga, but if he go out here and he lay down with in front of Shiraz, I'm gonna be the first one to say something about it. Yeah, I'm calling the fights tonight. I'm actually finna get off in a minute. I was just going live. You know, it's Saturday. I hate everybody. Just wanted to go on here and talk for everybody who wanted something to talk about. It is what it is. Yeah, it's a whole lot of cheating going on. A whole lot of it going on. But the thing about it is, man, these older guys they gotta start cleaning it up. Like Ryan Garcia and all these other guys who's doing it, they ain't the ones who made it. Like Ryan Garcia ain't the first guy to do it. Like he done learned it from somebody. That's why I think the biggest thing is like it's a learned behavior. Yeah, I'm calling the fights tonight though. It's a learned behavior, bro. He's doing way too much. And then you see everybody around him like, man, I don't know what he got going on. What? You don't know what he has going on. That's why I really can't even say nothing about the Tank situation, because it's like we still got stuff coming out of the Ryan situation as far as from the Haney Garcia fight last year. Like Ryan had so many things happen last year. We still have things unfolding from that one situation. Like him and Oscar going back and forth still. He got an arm injury. They talking about him possibly fighting Catterall. He was supposed to fight Haney. It's like, man, we don't know nothing about the situation he had going on or what he has going on now. But I think the thing that's going to hurt the cheating, though, I'm going to tell y'all right now, Ufai is probably the only guy that had a chance of beating Bam Rodriguez. So to have a Mexican fighter go across the world and beat up a guy who possibly the only small guy under 119 that can possibly hang with Bam Rodriguez, possibly, and you beat him up on PEDs that bad, the only reason I say he might not be the same is because they were supposed to stop the fight and they didn't stop the fight because the dude ain't never got beat like that before. He never got beat like that before, ever. And he didn't get dropped to the last round. So that's how you know he was like, he got broken in that fight. He got dropped in the last round. He said, I think hands-off versus Shiraz is a crapshoot. Anything can happen. It is. It is. I don't know how that styles match up. I haven't seen Shiraz really fight somebody like Berlanga. I really haven't seen Berlanga fight somebody like Shiraz, especially that tall. Most of the guys he fight like around his height. Not too many tall guys, so yeah, I think to be honest with you, I think that Zepeda and Shakur Stevenson gonna be a good fight, but I think that fight is gonna make the Shiraz and Berlanga fight a lot better. I think the energy from that fight is gonna make. I think Shiraz and Berlanga gonna live up to the expectations of a main event. I'm gonna go out here and say right now, this fight gonna be better than Tim Tszyu and Fedor. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. The first fight. And the reason why I say it will is because something gonna happen that we don't expect. I think this fight will be better than Tim Tszyu and Fedor. I think it's that good of a fight. Because really, Berlanga should have an advantage over a guy who's 160. And you just coming off fighting Canelo last year, it's the perfect chance. He said it really started when Floyd calling out Manny for PED, and it wasn't far-fetched. Manny KO went down to allegations. All about if Berlanga could take away his jab, good IQ test fight for Berlanga. Well, yeah, when Manny said that, when Floyd said that, that's when everything started to change a little bit. But what I also noticed about that situation with Floyd and Manny, as far as the PEDs, was that a lot of people wasn't really acting like it was in the sport of boxing. They had already caught guys like Roy Jones or whatever, but they was acting like it wasn't in the sport. That's the thing that kind of tripped me out about it back then, because that was our first time really hearing about people just talking about it in the open. And the way, but what I don't like now, J Man, is it feels like since Floyd ain't fighting now, well, I'm gonna be on the hush hush about it now. You know what I'm saying? Like when the Ryan thing happened with the PED, he was more so concerned about Devin losing than Ryan failing the test. So when I go back and look at the situation, it's like, bro, was you trying to clean the sport up or was you just worrying about you? Because no way you can overlook what happened last week, and he was in the middle of it. That's why I think Floyd messed his reputation up for real. As far as with people who know him, I'm talking about just people who really keep up with boxing. He messed his name up with that one. I'm talking about the way I never was disappointed in something Floyd did, but when he got on that phone call with on that live with Bill Haney, I don't know why I expected that to happen, but until you see it, you like, man, this dude tripping. This dude went on there and celebrated. Another man losing like that. Now, mind you, as much as we don't like what Ryan Garcia did, he probably celebrated harder than we did when Devin Haney lost. So it's like, man, how could you really have a guy around you like that talking about he wanted to help your career out, and he's sitting there laughing at you basically to the entire world? That's the only thing I feel like kind of helped. I hurt his legacy as far as with the PEDs, but he did help the sport of boxing with that situation. I was like, dang, Floyd. Yeah, Tank downfall is the reason why he's so worried about everybody else's career. You know how many times other fighters could have sat back and be like, man, this guy ain't that good. This guy ain't that good. I feel like a lot of fighters could have been in the same position and did what Tank did, but those guys would have been active though. And I think PBC kind of put the responsibility on him to carry the brand, and it just never went in the right direction. I feel like they kind of messed with the Bronner situation too much. They gave Bronner too many big fights early, PBC. I don't think they gave Porter enough big fights early. They did a good job with Spence, but then with Wilder, they dragged their feet. They did a good job with Wilder, but at the end, man, it's not a good look. I feel like after this, PBC not gonna have a good luck with a heavyweight. Because once you get a guy like Wilder, you got to be able to be successful with him. I'm like, man, y'all dropped the ball on Wilder, man. At heavyweight, they had everything locked in. Once they would have did the Andrew Ruiz situation, boom, it would have been over. I think they could have forced Joshua to sign over to the PBC in that situation. Because I think right after that, he signed a lifetime deal or something with Matchroom. But it was a reason why they did that lifetime deal, though. They knew. He's like, man, they only 1 or 2 pieces away. But yeah, man, PBC definitely should have looked towards those heavyweights a lot more. They dropped the ball on that one. But yeah, Tank that downfall right now, it's expected because ain't nothing really been checked, bro, his whole career. He don't really have no standards that anybody hold him to. Like, even with all this going on, he still should be fighting right now. Even if you go to court and everything else, you should be fighting. And half of this stuff wouldn't be happening if he was fighting. I think them trying to put him in front of Haney because of age was a mistake. Haney was already fighting him and on his level when he was 16. I think trying to compare him to other fighters younger than him was a mistake. I think they should have compared him to guys that was around his age. Now you got Tank competing with guys who just now starting to get in their prime. Then you got Ryan at the house. I'm telling you, them dudes around that age right now, they getting a wake up call. If they think everybody else is just gonna go past and just let them do what they do and hold on to the belts for a long time, they're gonna be mistaken, bro. A lot of these guys gonna be coming up off them belts very soon. These sanctioning bodies ain't finna let you hold on to them because they want to make more money. If Turkey is making a fight at 35, they gonna want to be involved. Matter of fact, they gonna want to make sure that the champions that hold the belts will be available to make fights with Turkey. If I'm a sanctioning body, I'm gonna say, hey man, I want this fighter right here to be available when Turkey make this next card, or I want our belt to be available. Now, if the belt's not available, we're gonna make it available. That's how they gonna do it from now on. They gonna say, "Oh, you're not available for this date? Oh, okay. Go ahead and strip that belt real quick. We need this money. Let me go ahead and strip that belt, man." That's why a lot of times now I think Turkey just trying to go to one belt. I think he was trying to do that recently, but it's a lot of different things going on. He was trying to just go to one belt with Ring Magazine, but WBO and WBA they still involved, and that's why I think a lot of times Turkey was just trying to do the undisputed to figure out who the one champion is, and once that guy's that one champion, they could just transfer that over to the Ring Magazine and have one belt for the whole division. But they getting away from that though. But yeah, I don't want to miss these fights tonight, but I'm gonna definitely tune back in, man. I appreciate everybody for coming through on the live. I'm gonna be back on here in a couple of hours. Shout out to J Man and everybody who came through, Adam, Wild Man. Shout out to John too, that was in the chat. Everybody who came through early. Jordan Smith, shout out to everybody, PD. Yeah, we definitely gonna be out live later on.